All right, good afternoon, everybody. Current time is 4:28 p.m. Give me an audio check, please, and thank you. Would appreciate that. We are live here for our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day. It is going to be up in the Tri-Cities region in the Midland area. The cell on your screen, we are just talking behind the scenes about this being a hail producer. And lo and behold, they went ahead and issued the warning here for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as 1-inch hail here. Current time 4:29 p.m. This cell is located between Porter, Floyd, Gordonville, and St. Elmo, heading to the northeast. It's going to cross M20 into Midland here shortly. Dice Corners, Averill, Sanford, Olson, downstream Bombay, Larkin, Francis Grove, Hope, and also need to keep an eye on the Bay County area here in the central part of Bay County as well. So this is going to be a storm that we're going to take a peek here at a few things. First and foremost, the wind velocity with it. Now, with these cells out there, we have Joel up in the top right corner. He's chasing, and he's been reporting that these cells have high bases on them. What that means is a lack of moisture in the lowest levels of the atmosphere. So that's good news right now. I think the overall risk with this particular storm looks to be more on the hail side of things. And if we were to track this on the hail tracker, you're going to see that the hail tracker is pretty much maxed out here just to the north of Porter. This is going to be over Pine River Road. It's crossing or has crossed Bradford Road between St. Elmo and Porter. If I go ahead and go back to the radar, zoom out, and take an animated look at this, you're going to see the movement is to the northeast. So you guys in Midland should be very cautious, as if you can see, if you kind of line this up, the storm is starting to turn right on itself and heading directly into Midland. So Midland downtown, if this track continues, they may have to reissue one for like Midland, Auburn, over toward Bay City, because this movement on this has turned really far to the right. Typically, we see that with supercells when they start to strengthen. So we'll also keep an eye on the rotation with this, the wind velocity, the hail tracker, all of the 9 yards here. We'll keep track of it here over the next couple of hours here this evening. Again, I am Ryan. I am solo today in the studio. We have chasers out and about, but you're going to be with me here throughout the evening covering severe weather. Outside of that warning, to the south, we have storms over Lakefield, Merrill, Wheeler, as well as just north of St. Louis. Also over here in the Thumb region, go ahead and take the Detroit radar off this one. Up here in Tuscola, Sanilac, and parts of Huron County, some stronger storms are ongoing here as well. The statement over here for Huron and Sanilac County includes places like Minden, Forestville, and Deckerville. And that storm here is moving to the northeast toward the Forestville and Harbor Beach regions. 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail, so talking like dime-size hail there. Otherwise, there are storms over here in the Carroll region, Cass City, Elmwood, down toward Vassar. We're not going to see those currently as severe. And outside of those storms going further south, radar is clear anywhere south of Flint and also south of Grand Rapids here. Anywhere south, really, on the west side of Michigan is currently clear. However, over here across the lake, we have the ever elusive, what we call an MCV, heading our direction. So we are not done. We anticipate more storms to develop this evening over here on the west side of Michigan. And those honestly are the main concerns for our tornado risk, anything hail wise as well. So these storms currently out there in the Tri-Cities and Thumb region, I'm calling these the appetizer. I think what is coming later on this evening, if storms were to develop, are going to be the ones to watch over here in the Ludington area. So we'll watch those carefully. In the meantime, though, one warning out there, and it's mainly for hail, but also includes damaging wind. But I think the hail risk is definitely higher with this storm. Now, we also have a weather camera here in Midland looking directly at this, courtesy of 702 Bar. You're looking due west here off of the bar and grill there, and you can see the rain and the hail shaft just center left of your screen. It actually kind of looks like an embedded, I'm not going to say a tornado because it's not that, but you can see the left edge and you see the right edge very definitively there. That's likely your hail core Very heavy precipitation falling there. And this is actually heading right for our camera. So we're going to get a really good look at this thing here in about 5 or perhaps 10 minutes here. Now, again, I'll go back to radar. I'll show you guys this one more time. If we back this up and we go ahead and animate this forward, the storm that got warned has taken a right turn. And if you're in Midland, technically downtown is underneath the warning, but the east side of Midland over by Golden and US 10 here is just outside that warning. So I'm going to assume, or I'm going to guess, that they're going to reissue another warning here for portions of Bay, perhaps northern Shiawassee County. I believe this is Shiawassee. No, my brain is not braining. I think that's Shiawassee County. It's not. What county is this? Don't help me out. I'm gonna lose my mind over this. Saginaw County is the kind I'm talking about here. So Saginaw, Bay, and perhaps Midland counties with a new warning coming in with that cell turning to the right. My brain was having a meltdown for a brief minute there. So we'll be live this evening. I don't know if we'll hop off once or twice to kind of get a rest, but right now I think the risk is going to be pretty much continual throughout the evening. So I'm going to be planning to be live here for a few hours at very least, unless obviously something happens where we're not needed. But in the meantime, I expect that to not happen as these storms will continue on for several hours tonight. New statement coming in for Huron and Tuscola counties. I'm going to assume it's going to be for this area. There it is, new blue box, pop on your screen. All of Huron County, essentially, down into the Caro and Cass City regions. They're going to go half-inch hail, which is dime size, as well as 40-mile-per-hour winds. Dime-size hail and 40-mile-per-hour winds with these cells heading up toward the Bad Axe, Harbor Beach, and Port Austin regions. Back over here to our severe warning in Midland, you have about probably 5 or 10 minutes before you are impacted by hail. The worst of the core is currently located over 30 in Gordonville, crossroad here of Gordonville Road, as well as Meridian Road. This core is heading directly into the town of Midland, which is a pretty populated area there along 30, 20, and US 10. Further south, guys, there's nothing going on. So if you're asking for like Adrian or Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Lansing, currently there's 0 on radar. Same goes for West Michigan. West Michigan over by Grand Rapids and points northward. Currently nothing on radar, but that may change for the western part of Michigan as we get through the evening hours. Pull up the weather camera back here while I post this warning for you guys on the page. Go ahead and flip it back over. The core of that storm is approaching our camera here facing west out of Midland at 702 bar. We'd like to thank 702 bar for sponsoring this camera last year. It's giving us a pretty good look at things, including today. We're going to go ahead and pin the stream on Facebook. So if you guys are watching on Facebook and have to leave, just come back to our page. It'll be pinned to the very top of your feed. We're also live on YouTube, X, TikTok, and Twitch TV. So you can watch on your platform of choice. Check out our velocity here again. Still not really seeing much of anything on the wind with this storm. I think it's still primarily a hail risk here. The concern I have is definitely stronger here for the hail. The core of this, almost in real time here, is just to the north of Gordonville, heading up into the southwest side of Midland right now. We're looking at the Chippewa Nature Center, the Nature Study Building. This is going to be along Prairie Road, Isabella Street as well, moving up toward the golf course on the west side of Midland. Back to the weather camera here. I want you to take notice on the left side power pole here. You can see the rain shaft or the hail core there, and you can kind of see an indentation outward, or is it indentation or is it an outdentation? It's a new word. You can kind of see it gradually kind of curve outward. That's what we call a rain boot. And likely on the edge of that rain core, you're getting some pretty gusty winds, but also within that core, probably some hail fall in there for sure. Let's go ahead and cycle through our chasers real quick here, see if anybody else is live. Just Joel, it appears. I do have a couple other chasers pulled up. Let's go ahead and check them real quick. We had a few chasers saying they're going to be on with us today, but looks like Tyler is. We got Tyler with us as well, but looks like Clayton and Aaron are not live. And that rain boot is very interesting. And this is going to head right up toward a camera here, or just in front of it at least. So a good view here. Back to the radar. We'll watch the storms to the south as well. The current hail cores on those don't appear as potent as the one that's currently warned, so that's good news for now. Animating this, we're going to notice that the storm has taken a right turn and will be impacting downtown Midland here in a matter of a few minutes. Up here in the Thumb region, looks like the storm up here in Sanilac County, just east of Argyle, is getting a nice core on it as well. Check out the hail tracker there. It's a little elevated, but not too bad at the current moment. But that will be heading up toward the Minden and Forestville regions here next about 10 or 15 minutes, and eventually on to Lake Huron. Over here in Tuscola County, we're seeing storms over Caro, Cass City, Elmwood areas. Those do not appear to have any hail cores on them, or perhaps very small hail cores. And velocity on all these storms at the current time does appear to be weak in nature. We have a weather camera as well at Harbor Beach. Pull that in real quick. This is facing to the west-southwest here. I believe the storm is going to be on the left side of your screen. Not really seeing a good view, at least not right now, but that may change here next hour, half hour to an hour. So we'll come back to that. I'll pull up the Midland camera once again. As that storm approaches the camera, it has appeared to begin to rain there. We'll come and revisit that here in just a second. Looks like the core on that Midland cell has shrunk, which is good news. We'll see if the hail core shrinks as well. We're seeing the distinct red or purple to red trend, which is a weakening trend off of the DBZ on radar. So if that continues, maybe we're seeing a good weakening trend with the cell. Take a peek at Joel as well as Tyler. We have Tyler currently in Akron, Michigan with a blurry camera. Tyler, if you're watching this stream, you got to adjust your camera lens a little bit to the left. It's picking up on your mount more than is the road ahead of you. Looks like Joel as well is live. He is currently in Stanton, Michigan. Usually you see Joel on stream with us, but today he is out and about in the field, getting out, chasing as we have passions for. We are Michigan Storm Chasers after all. So glad to see Joel out there today chasing. Whoop, there we go. Tyler, that's perfect. Thank you. He must be listening to the stream. Let's take Tyler back here. Whoop, not Trisha. Let's go Tyler. Oh, what happened? Must be a dead zone. There it goes. All right, we got both of them in here though. New statement coming in for that cell in Sanilac County. We'll pop it on the screen just a minute. It's going to be for this one just north of Deckerville. We'll wait for it. There it is. We're going to see dime-sized hail and 40-mile-per-hour winds. This is going to be directly over the Minden City game area, or Minden Minden City State Game Area is what it's called. Get that posted to the page real quick. While I do that, I'll flip it back over here to the weather camera as this storm moves into Midland. Hail core is now directly over Chippewa River Road in the western part of Midland. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, are on YouTube. So I did shut the chat down when we were scheduling stuff because we've been dealing with a lot of spam lately. I'll fix that for you guys. I apologize. I forgot I did that. There, you guys can chat now on YouTube. That's my apologies. It should not be like that at all. So I do apologize. So west side of Midland, Homestead Farm, Chippewa Nature Center being impacted as we speak. I thought chat was a little bit quiet. Thank you, Julie, for letting me know that behind the scenes. Appreciate you. Again, I do that because of spam. So when this stream is scheduled, it sits on YouTube. And lately we had a lot of people come in dropping links and stuff like that. I try to cut down on it. I want to schedule it so you guys know we're going to go live at some point. But I also try to reduce the spam on it. So that's what I do. So I apologize. I forgot about it. It's on me. All right, taking a zoomed out look here. Back to the west, you guys are tuning in from the west side of Michigan. Radar is clear from the state line of Indiana up until we get to about the Manistee area where there's some light rain moving in. Over to the east, we do have these storms ongoing. I'm going to call this the appetizer round. I think we have a more substantial threat coming in about an hour or two off of Lake Michigan to watch more carefully. These storms here are kind of messy in nature. They're lacking a little bit more of lift and some moisture as well. So I think really the main concern that I personally have is going to be anything that develops over here across Lake Michigan and tracks into West Michigan here in the next couple hours. There's some uncertainty with it, but we'll have to keep a close eye on it. The cell now that is warned is moving in toward Midland. It's still on the western edge of town, moving to the east. Now, this warning does go all the way up here for like Hope and Bombay and Larkin areas, but you guys are not getting anything at this point. This storm has moved to your south. So on the north side of this warning, if you're watching up here, not really seeing much of anything for you guys. On the back side of this, over by Porter, Pleasant Valley, and St. Elmo regions, you guys are also all clear as these storms have now moved to your east. Looks like they just trimmed it back as well. See what they trim it back to. There's your new trim coming in. You can see that they've continued it, but they've cleared Sanford, Edenville, Hope, back toward Coleman and Pleasant Valley, Oil City regions. Very thin strip here. Continues for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. Talking to Chandler behind the scenes here. Give me 1 second to help him out with this. In the meantime, let me know where you're watching from. We have about 2,000 you guys watching currently. Also have a nice view of the weather cam as this moves into Midland. A little bit of a base there on the left side of your screen. Doesn't look concerning by any means at this point. The rain shaft is on the center part of your screen. So we're going to see how this evolves as it moves into Midland. You know, looking on the radar here, I will say this: the storm on radar appears to be weakening in nature. I would go as far as to say I don't know if it's severe any longer. There is still hail showing up on the hail tracker, but otherwise, if this warning gets dropped, I'll stay live for a few minutes. But I don't see anything of concern or note besides this one cell at the current time. Everything else looks well below severe limits. And I would like to take as many breaks as possible because I'm working solo today. And I do think we have a risk coming in a little bit later on this evening that's perhaps more substantial to cover. So we'll see how that evolves this evening. But if we get a break here or a chance to take a break, I will likely take that. Back to the radar here, the warning continues. The hail core is still sitting on the west side of Midland. So if you're living in downtown Midland or in town in general, you're looking out. The west side of Midland, though, over here, this is going to be the Chippewa River and the Sandow Road area, Lee Allen Drive, Edner Court, subdivisions there just south of Isabella Street. They're taking the hail right now, according to the radar here. But if you're in downtown or on the east part of Midland, you guys are still looking out at this current time. Megan says, make food and put it next to you so you can eat. I'm covered. I got a cooler right here, and actually, thank you for reminding me. I'm going to pop my next meal into my heater so it's ready for me. Thank you, Megan, for that reminder. We are all human here at MSC, so we do have to eat and take breaks as needed. And especially on days like today, where we have a couple breaks in the action here, we could probably take. I'll take it. Obviously, if there's a tornado happening or something substantial happening, we're not gonna take a break. You know how we go here, but I think we will get a little bit of a break in a few minutes with the storm as it continues to the east. Perfect. Just some light rain showing up here on the camera so far. Not really seeing too much of anything else. New statement coming in for Saginaw County. Looks like they're going to forego the warning, perhaps. Let's go ahead and go back to radar real quick. Let's see where that new blue box pops in. If they're going to extend this, there it is. It's not for that cell. It's for the cell to the south over Hemlock. Half-inch hail, or dime-size hail to be exact. So dime-size hail and 40-mile-per-hour winds. Just north of Hemlock here. This core, looking at the advanced radar, doesn't appear to be overly tall just yet. But it might be strengthening here as it moves to the east-northeast. There may be some inflow to this as well. We'll have to watch this a little bit more carefully as it moves towards Zilwaukee, North Saginaw, and into Bay City. We'll watch that one a little more closely, see if that's clutter or see if that's actually inflow from the storm. Let's animate that real quick to get a better idea. It might be clutter. We'll watch it regardless. As a reminder for those who did not catch our forecast or maybe just need a reminder in general, today we do have an elevated tornado risk across central Michigan due to two factors. The first one is a warm front, and that warm front is very close to these storms right now. When storms get close to that warm front, the warm front itself enhances our wind shear as well as lift. So the closer these storms can get to the warm front or perhaps latch onto it, the better the chances for a tornado becomes. Second thing to watch is an MCV, a mesoscale convective vortex, which is a localized area of low pressure, which is over Lake Michigan, currently moving up into the western side of Michigan, that may spark off additional storms along that warm front. So the combination here does pose a bit of a higher concern for something tornadic today. My radar does no longer show the warning on this. I'm going to restart my radar software here just to make sure it's up to date. I believe the warning's still in effect just because it's still on the warning bar there at the bottom. And it is, it's still in effect. So I'm not sure why my radar software continues to glitch out like that. It happens every stream, it seems like. So the warning continues for the Midland area. And we're going to watch the cell to the south here, heading up toward Bay City and Zilwaukee regions. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction here based off the latest scan. I'll double check that with the Detroit radar. But this cell to the south definitely has my concern now. The hail core on that is absolutely growing on it. So we are under 25,000 feet still. Are we at 20,000? Oh, yeah. This one's probably going to go warned here in the northern part of Saginaw County and southern part of Bay County. For hail, I also would not be shocked if they put a tornado possible tag on this. There is perhaps some inflow, perhaps some very broad rotation on the south side of this storm that warrants concern here. Hail core has really exploded over the past 3 scans, so that's more concerning here for an intensifying storm. If you downstream here in Zilwaukee, Saginaw State University, Bay City, even up toward MBS International Airport, Lawndale areas, I would expect this to at very least be a high-end statement, if not a severe warning, perhaps with an all hazards tag on it. When you see these brighter reds on the side of the storm, it could be a couple things. It could be inflow, that could also be rotation. It could also be what we call side lobe contamination. And this particular storm is a little bit harder to see, but I do believe we are seeing legitimate rotation with this storm near Frost and Shattuckville. I believe it lines up pretty well with the reflectivity here. Here's your rotation. We want to line that up with our radar, and you can see it's directly on the south side of that storm where the inflow region and the rotation could be at. So I do think we'll have to watch this carefully here in Shattuckville and downstream areas and northern Zilwaukee regions. At very least for hail, I don't want to see 100% certainty of the rotations there. It could be side lobe contamination for sure, but I do think that's legitimate and warrants concern. Midland, Northwood University now has hail core on it. Looks like the Michigan Medical Center in Midland is also getting hail. North side of town, a little bit of a core there, although the intensity of that.
Back into that Saginaw County storm.
Do you have your VDO on, or are you just monitoring right now? The hail core on the Midland cell appears to be quite weak in nature at this current time, so anything up there probably is sub-severe, but still, it wouldn't surprise me to see some bigger, or at least some larger hailstones. Trisha, one of our chasers, has said that she is on a cell there. I'm going to pull up Trisha just to see if she's live. There's your new warning coming in. Not surprised by that any means. Let's see if Trisha's live with us. She is not. So new warning coming in. That was well needed, and they're going to go just baseline 1-inch hail, quarter size, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it includes Bay, Midland, and Saginaw counties until 6 p.m. They did not include the rotation or the tornado possible tag on that storm, and this scan here appears to be more so side lobe contamination. So again, it's very hard to depict with this storm, but at very least, the hail core over Dice is pretty dicey, no pun intended. Heading up toward M47, close to Lawndale. We go ahead and zoom back out. Go ahead and take this down and animate for you guys to get a good look at the storm motion on this. You're seeing a pretty much due northeast movement up into Cucaulin and Bay City areas. So we'll see that move into downtown Bay City and approximately get a track on this. The hail core into Bay City. We're seeing that in about 20 minutes. So downtown Bay City in about 20 minutes for you guys. Also keep a close eye to the cell here on the back end, heading up in the south side of Midland. Go ahead and pause that again.
I don't know how long I'll be able to stay, but I'm just sitting here looking at the back end of the storm right now.
Copy. So this cell back down here, south side of Midland near Poseyville and Gordonville areas, is also looked to be intensifying. Trisha has set her cameras on. We'll go ahead and retry her. And there is your cell on the south side of the Saginaw County news cell that just got warned. And it appears that there's no definitive base with that. Looks like some scud there, but nothing here that that warrants my storm chaser experience that would kind of stand out to me as something that's concerning. So that appears to be good news there. Thank you, Tricia, for coming on for that. We'll go ahead and get you lined up here in the center left position. We'll move Tricia up to the very top of the screen there. There you go. We'll go ahead and take back the radar here for you guys to take a peek at the radar. So 2 warnings now. The first warning should be expiring here about half hour, but I would not be shocked if they cancel it early based off new data. The new warning includes Auburn, Bay City, Caucalin, Linwood, Beaver, all the way as far north as Pinconning. So we'll have to watch the northern part of this. If we animate it and move, it looks like a pretty much due northeast movement into Bay City, Auburn, and Caucalin areas. Not ignoring our friends further east in the Thumb region, these storms just appear to be on the weaker side of things. No rotation, no elevated velocity on the wind here that I see. The hail core on this also appears to be weak in nature, so we're not ignoring you guys over there. I just think the storms back further west are more prevalent currently. Back even further to the west, I do see some cells over the lake here. We'll have to watch these very carefully as they push across Lake Michigan. Your MCV is going to come on shore here in about another hour or so, if I'm reading this correct. So we're going to see a perhaps more substantial risk with any storms that fire up on the west side of Michigan in the next 1 to 2 hours. It's not a slam dunk guarantee, but it is a possibility. Main concern continues to be the hail core directly over M47 currently. Unfortunately, don't have a Bay City camera, but we do have one in the works for Bay City. It is just not installed yet. Center of the core is just south of the MBS airport. This is going to be just south of Freeland, it appears. And the hail core on this, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to hype this up, but the hail core on this has continued to grow, and it is over 30,000 feet now. I would not be shocked to see an upgrade to this warning to perhaps $50 ping pong, or perhaps even golf ball size hail if that continues. Look at the latest scan. That is not a good sign here. DBZ values over or close to 70 DBZ now showing up. When we get over 60, that's your hail core. We go over 70, we're talking very, very large hail potential here, just south of the MBS airport there. This is not a good situation. The hail core on this continues to intensify. Good.
A new destructive severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
They're going baseball size hail. Destructive severe warning now for Bay City. Destructive severe for Bay City. This is going to be in effect for baseball size hail. Give me 1 second here. This is going to be just south of the MBS airport, just north of Lawndale. This is, again, baseball size hail. Don't let the red polygon fool you. It's not a tornado warning. It's just going to be a severe warning here with baseball size hail. Stand by here. I got to get a post on the page warning people in the path of this. Again, if you live in Bay City, now is the time to get in your car and put it in the garage. This storm is heading up into Bay City in about 10 to 15 minutes. So you do have some time to move your vehicles around. If you have a garage, this is going to be a situation here where you want to, at very least, protect your car by any means possible.
All right, I'm gonna go north and try and get closer to it.
I was expecting a considerable warning, but I did not expect there to be a destructive warning here. All right, post going out. Zoom back in here. Apologize for that delay. I'm a one-man show today. Freeland area just escaped the worst of it. The hail core is now directly over MBS International Airport along Freeland Road, heading to the northeast. Go ahead and track this out and time this out here very carefully. Go ahead and pop open our tracker tool. Storm track to the northeast here into Bay City at 32 miles per hour. Puts it in Bay City in about 15 minutes. 15 minutes in Bay City, perhaps just a little bit ahead of that. So we're going to talk about 10 to 15 minutes to be safe here. The hail core on this is passing just to the west of Saginaw Valley State University, heading up toward Delta College. It will cross 75 here just to the southwest of Bay City and go into downtown Bay City. Again, destructive severe warning for baseball size hail. Destructive severe warning for baseball size hail.
Hail core, Ryan, is about 31 or 32,000 feet.
If you guys can hear Joel in the background here, he is relaying information. He's referring to the hail core. The size of this is grown to 30,000 feet. Now, when we get up to 20,000 or so feet, if the environment's favorable, that could be supportive of quarters and $half size hail. We get to 30,000 feet, that's when we start talking about golf ball size hail and perhaps larger. So in this case, baseball size hail is located, if there is baseball size hail, just directly over or to the east of the MBS airport, directly over the Twin Oaks Golf Club. Again, destructive severe in effect here for Bay County as the storm moves out of Saginaw County into Bay County here. If you're in Bay City, this is heading directly towards you. Let's hope it weakens. In the event it doesn't weaken, Bay City is about to get a lot of hail. So I would definitely be inside away from windows, and you still have some time if you live in downtown Bay City to get your cars put away in their garages or a shelter of some sort. Anticipating this hail is going to be impacting you guys here in about 10 minutes or so. So you do have time there. If you live anywhere southwest of Bay City, your time is very, very low here. Delta College is on deck. Bay City Country Club, James Clements Municipal Airport, and Saginaw Valley State University, they're all in the path of this. It appears to be about to enter over Delta College here at 84 and 75 crossing the interchange there. New scan coming in shortly. Let's go ahead and take a look at the VIL. This is a hail tracker, and it's maxed out. It can't go any more significant than that. Again, if you're just tuning in, don't let this red polygon fool you. That is a color for a destructive severe. You don't have a destructive warning here in Michigan very often. I believe the last destructive was back in 2024 in Muskegon. I could be wrong on that, but it's very rare that we get destructive severe warnings here within the state. Now, again, if you're just tuning in, this is going to be isolated to the Tri-Cities region here. The hail core is shown in the pinks, purples, and black colors here. MBS Airport is center of your screen right there. You can see the crossing, the runways there. Twin Oaks Golf Club is right here. I'm circling my mouse. Up here is Delta College. I-75 here. Here's Bay City up to the north right here. This storm is moving up into Bay City here next 5 to 10 minutes. Animation on this, we're going to go ahead and put this on a track. Sorry, get that out of the way. There you go. Your track on that is heading basically directly into Bay City. I will say the hail core, it's still prevalent, but it doesn't appear to be as significant as it was. The hail on GR2 was at 2.25 inches, and now has reduced back down to about golf ball size hail in the latest scan, so 1.75. So I do think we're seeing a slight weakening trend, but still the hail that's falling with the storm is still likely severe, if not well over severe criteria. Bay City is about 5 minutes from impact. While we have a second here, really quickly, your thumb cells still appear to be weak in nature. Velocity on that does not appear concerning. Hail tracker on those does not appear to be concerning as well. West side of Michigan, south side of Michigan, still clear. Actually, I have to take that back. Cells are starting to pop up here, it appears, in Oakland County. We'll watch those carefully. So Oakland County, a lightning strike there, and a couple cells trying to pop up there, Auburn Hills and West Bloomfield Township. So we'll watch those carefully. Otherwise, there are no other cells of concern except for the one up here in Bay City. Continues on its trek, just entering the Delta College region. The text of the destructive severe warning says the Weather Service in Detroit Pontiac has issued the warning for Southern Bay County and North Central Saginaw County until 6 p.m. Eastern. At 5:01, the thunderstorm is located over Freeland, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. A destructive severe storm is in effect for Freeland and Bay City. Baseball-sized hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. It is destructive, considerable tagged, or destructive tagged, as well as a radar indicated. So it's not confirmed hail or not confirmed wind. It's just radar indicated, which is definitely every bit of it. The hail core on this definitely showing up here on our CC as well as our hail tracker. The hail tracker cannot get any more maxed out than that at all as that moves up into Delta College and heading directly into Bay City. You have about probably 3 to 5 minutes now in Bay City to be inside away from windows. If you live ahead of this in Caucallin, Bay City, Essexville, all the way down here toward Quinnipiac, if I butchered that, I'm sorry. You guys need to be inside, away from windows, and it would not be a bad idea to get to the lowest floor of your house, because if indeed there is baseball-sized hail, even golf ball-sized hail, with any amount of wind, wind-driven hail can break windows fairly easily. So inside, very least, away from windows at very least, if not in your basement as the storm passes through. Again, there's no rotation that I'm seeing here. If there's any rotation at all, it's very weak in nature. No wind that I'm seeing here on radar, but two things to note. Number one is the radar beam up here. It's shooting well up in the atmosphere, so we're not getting a good look at the low levels of the storm. And the second thing to note also is the overall picture of the storm here on velocity doesn't really paint anything aside from hail, but with hail cores, it can be pretty cluttered. So I don't want to assume anything at this point. The original warning here would anticipate to be canceled. It expires in 18 minutes down for Porter up into Averill, Dice Corners, Larkin areas. Midland even, I believe, is going to be about all clear. You got a storm on the very far south and east side of town there, so not yet clear in Midland. Anywhere west or north of there, though, you're pretty much in the clear for that warning. Up here toward Pinconning, you guys are clear currently. Linwood, Beaver, just some thunderstorms there for you guys. The big concern here continues to be over Delta College and just north of Lawndale here. It's going to pass very closely to Saginaw Valley State University there, between 75 and 84. If you have any pictures, videos, or reports from the affected regions up here in the Tri-Cities, feel free to comment on our page. Not on this stream. We can't see can't see comments with pictures on this stream, but any other like warning post or text post, we can. You can also send us a message on Facebook as well. A direct message is the best way to communicate with us. But we're going to change that coming soon. I can't say just yet, but we do have plans to change that to make it easier for you guys to report weather to us. Taking a peek at some comments here behind the scenes. Not seeing anything overly concerning yet with reports, but obviously reports are not always real time. So again, if you guys have anything from the area here, from Dice to Lawndale to Midland up to Bay City region, feel free to get a hold of us via messenger or page comment that is not on this live stream. Well, there's your MCV. That might be a water spout on Lake Michigan right now. That very well could be a water spout there on that cell offshore. That's heading up toward Manistee. Yeah, okay, so just as an early heads up for you guys in Manistee, Ludington, Manistee up toward Pleasanton and Beulah, be on alert for this cell. This is going to be where I was talking about all day long. This is a concern here for anything tornadic. And as you can see here on radar, it does appear to have some rotation with it. And that's heading directly in toward Manistee. We have a Manistee camera actually pointing right at this thing here. It's too far out to see anything just yet, but that is going to be interesting here in about probably, if we track that, let's get a very quick track on this. I don't want to guess. I want to give you guys specifics. We can put a storm track on that due east into Manistee. We're looking at roughly about an hour to an hour and a half arrival time. So be very mindful if you live in the Manistee area, north of Beulah, south of Ludington. That cell is one to watch very carefully. That's warm front and also MCV related. Back up here to Bay City. Your cell continues to move closer and closer into town. It is pretty slow moving. The core of this still over Delta College, back down here toward 84. Over, is that Mackinac Road? Mackinac Road, just south of Delta College, which is Delta Road. So Mackinac and Delta Roads, the center of that hill core, is also over 75, as well as M84 from Freeland Road up to about Hotchkiss Road. Report of quarter-sized hail in Freeland, courtesy of Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for that report. I'm going to relay that right now to the Weather Service in Detroit. So again, bear with me for like 2 seconds as I send this in to them. And that is confirmed, picture confirmed quarter-size hail in Freeland from earlier, about 5 minutes ago.
I'll leave my screen live, so I only have my phone and try and punch it from the back here. Coming in near, Midland Road, M47 area. No, I'm still here. I'm not muted. I'm just quiet for the time being. Destructive severe continues
Again, hail core just now entering the south side of Bay City. That was fast. Detroit went ahead and confirmed that 1-inch hail from Freeland. So thank you, Lisa, for that. That was a very quick response there. So appreciate Detroit for being on their game today, as they always are. South side of Bay City is first in line here. The south side neighborhoods, Fremont Street, M13 by the Save-A-Lot, perhaps getting some hail there. The James Clements Municipal Airport is also getting hail too. Delta College still in the hail core there. M84 I-75 here by Bay Valley Resort and Conference Center by Delta Road is also getting impacted right now as we speak. Zooming out here, taking a picture or taking a look at the large picture. Aside from the cell in Bay City, there's nothing else concerning right now. The cells down here in Oakland County did pop up, moving into Macomb as well as Sanilac and Lapeer counties shortly. Then obviously, as we talked about 5 minutes ago, the cell over the lake right now needs to be watched very carefully as it moves toward Manistee for a tornado risk as well as damaging wind and large hail risk. So if you're in Manistee to Ludington up toward Beulah, this cell, about an hour, at least an hour to get to you, but it does have potential for all hazards. So be very mindful of that. Back down here to Bay City, the hail core continues to be maxed out. Not a good look there as we are now moving into Bay City. GR2, the advanced radar software that I'm using, says hail is estimated to be 1.78 inches, which is golf ball size in diameter. So if it's not baseball size, it is still likely large to very large hail occurring here. And the warning does mention up to baseball size hail possible with this cell. So take it very seriously here. Bay City, you are right on deck here. I can't say 1 minute, 5 minutes. It's entering town as we speak here. So just be inside away from windows, and hopefully the storm continues to weaken a little bit. Right now, the core is now moving directly into downtown Bay City. So if you live in proper Bay City, you guys are right on the doorstep of this. New development here. Looks like NWS Gaylord has issued a marine warning for waterspout possible. And let's get that set up here real quick. I don't have them turned on. Now I do. And there you go. There is your marine warning there for the waters of Manistee up to Beulah. We'll see if Grand Rapids does it for the same areas offshore of Ludington. Waterspout possible is going to be your main concern there with this storm. We've been talking about this for the past 10 minutes now. The storm heading up toward Manistee warrants concern for a waterspout possible. And there is your rotation. Again, over water, so it doesn't affect us yet, but it is moving towards us. So be very mindful of that. Also, some rotation appears on this cell out ahead of it as well. So Manistee area, you guys need to watch out here. We have numerous cells moving in the general direction. The one offshore of Manistee is actually moving to the north. The one behind it moving more so east. Let's pull up the Manistee camera right now, because we are awesome and so are our sponsors. We do have cameras everywhere in the state of Michigan. Looking west off of Manistee here. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. Believe we can see the cloud deck there, but no definitive details just yet. So we're going to watch this very carefully here. We have a perfect view of Ludington and Manistee both on the lake, giving us views of this. So we're going to come back to that in a half hour or so, more than likely. But we're going to go ahead and take attention back here to Bay City, where a destructive severe continues to remain in effect here. Looks like Bay City is going to be impacted right now. The hail core is now moving into the city. So that's not a good look there. Looks like the advanced radar I'm using, it still says about 1.5 inches And they're going to continue the destructive severe warning here for Bay City. They did not trim it back, or they trimmed it back, but they did not take the destructive tag off it. So very large hail remains a possibility with this storm as it continues into Bay City. Current time is 5:23 p.m., about 20 seconds after that. The hail core does extend down toward Munger on M15 here. This is going to be Kenneth Hayward Airport, also impacted by this hail core, but the bulk of this, I think, is over Bay City here. Your hail tracker is a bit lag behind. You can see Delta College took a direct hit from that hail, looking like crossed over 7584, and is probably in the southwest side of town here by Jack's Fruit and Meat Market, Governor's Quarters, Courtyard in Bay City there. Hey, I stayed there, actually. When the dam broke in Sanford, I was up covering that. I stayed at that hotel. Rabbit Trail there. Center Avenue there, right by the river. Going to cross the river here and move up into the east side of Bay City. It's going to follow Kosciuszko Avenue very closely. I will zoom out and I'll go ahead and animate this radar for you guys. Take a look at that. You can see the purple indicates the hail core moving into Bay City at the current time. It'll be into Essexville shortly as well, and eventually on to Lake Michigan. Wow, goodness gracious, Lake Huron. And if that continues, it will head up towards Sebring and Unionville areas. So if you're over here downstream in Sebring, Unionville, and Akron areas, up toward Bayport as well, you guys are not out of the woods. This storm continues to move to the east-northeast, so you guys have some amount of concern to keep a close eye on that cell. I am going to have the Manistee camera pulled up at all times watching it. If I get a good look at things, I will pull it back up. In the meantime, though, not a good look just yet with storms remaining offshore, well offshore, out of the range of the camera. Test 1, 2. Nope, that's not right. There we go. That's right. There we go. That should be fixing it. Perfect. It should be good now. I'm going to throw in my earpiece for our radio, so give me a second there. Marine warning now coming in for the waters of Lake Huron in Saginaw Bay. Winds up to 50 knots or greater than 50 knots. So basically talking about severe criteria winds as it enters the Lake Huron region. Excuse me. Radio check 1, 2, 3. Thank you much. All right. Hail core is now directly in Bay City. I think the good news, based off the radar presentation alone, I think the hail core has weakened some, luckily, but likely some hail still falling in there. If you live in Bay City, let us know here in chat how large the hail is, if you can do so safely. Obviously, you should be sheltered, but if you're outside the hail core or just past you, feel free to let us know what you're seeing out there with this hail core. I would be very curious to see what's falling in downtown Bay City. Appreciate you guys becoming members and donating. I do apologize. I cannot get to all those when we're in severe operations like this, but I do appreciate you guys if you're becoming members and super chatting and stuff like that. Really appreciate your support. We are self-funded here for the most part. MSC. We have some sponsors who help us out as well, but for the most part, your guys' support goes a long way to keep operations rolling here at MSC. So really appreciate your guys' support, whether it's just by watching, liking, subscribing, or if you're donating or monetarily giving. Appreciate it. Carly says pea size mixed with marble size in Bay City. Thank you, Carly, for that. Jason says dime size. Annika says no hail yet. Pea size South End. So it sounds like the majority. Okay, so we got one person here, Michigan girl in chat, saying Delta College had quarter size hail. Thank you for that. No hail by the bay yet. State Park just rained so far. All right, taking a peek back further south, the cell in Oakland County has popped up and pretty much weakened. A poof, so to speak. Up here in Huron County, the cell just entering or exiting Cass City, beginning to intensify by itself as well. I have to watch that one a little bit more carefully now, heading up toward Ubly and Bad Axe regions. Taking a peek back down here at the Green Bay radar at that cell over Lake Michigan. Continues to have rotation and some intense winds on it as it progresses closer and closer to Manistee. The cell ahead of this continues on its northward trek. Probably not going to be impactful to Michigan. I'm more concerned about what's back here over the water. And the Manistee camera, I have it pulled up still watching it. So warnings continue. Midland is in a warning technically, but it technically is all clear back there. Nothing on radar. Auburn, Beaver as well. Pinconning also clear. The only areas of concern are from Zilwaukee up to Bay City and points eastward to the county line of Tuscola County. Again, if you're just tuning in, don't let the red box fool you. That is what we call a destructive severe warning. It's not a tornado warning. There's no risk at this storm currently for anything tornadic. There is a threat today for a few tornadoes, and I'm more concerned about that happening with the cells over Lake Michigan heading toward Manistee right now than I am these cells currently in the Thumb and Tri-City region. The hail tracker on this has weakened significantly. The largest hail now east of Bay City, crossing M25 right now, and it will head on to Lake Huron here shortly, just west of Quanakasi and Bradleyville. Again, if you live up here by Sebring or very close to the lakeshore areas of Lake Huron, in Huron as well as Tuscola counties, don't let your guard down just yet. We do have potential for these cells to continue on their trek into those two counties. Looks like a new marine warning coming in now for the waters. New marine warning coming in here on the west side of Michigan. They did go ahead and add this. They're going to go no waterspout possible, surprisingly, but they did go 40 knots and large hail. Sorry, wind gusts to 40 knots and small hail. I read the arrow wrong. My bad. Thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate your support. It says we appreciate you guys from Western Michigan. So thank you for that super chat. When things get quieter, at least we can read some chats here. But when we're tracking active situations, definitely more concern for those cells here They did downsize from destructive to baseline severe now, so good news there. Ping pong ball size hail is now the largest hail on the warning, which is good news there. So again, ping pong ball size hail is now your largest expected hail size, and the hail core has weakened. I would think that the east side of Bay City has the best potential of that over toward the county line of Tuscola along M25. That is where the largest hail is going to be falling, if any large hail is falling at the current moment. My hope is we can hop off of here for a brief time to give me a break. Again, I'm working solo today. Got Joel out in the field. Top right of your screen there. I'm going to anticipate this warning continuing until it's on the shores here. But the fact we don't have a new warning for Tuscola County, I'm going to assume that is a good thing at the current time. I'm not saying one couldn't be issued, because it still could be, but the storm is now entering Tuscola County here. So if they're going to issue a warning, I'll be doing it right now or very soon. Center Road, cross of Farley Road. Yeah, Farley and Center Road, and just points eastward to Quinnicossee. That's going to be where the hail core currently is. Quinnicossee State Wildlife Area is being impacted right now. And there is your new statement coming in. Bay here on Tuscola. I'm not sure what they're doing with this just yet. Probably... Okay, so they're going to forgo the warning. They're going to opt for a statement. So that are going to be our cue to hop off of here once this cell has exited the warning area. That warning continues for 24 more minutes. They may expire it early, but new statement coming in for Sebring, Wisner, and Unionville areas for the cell. Dime size hail is what they're going to be going with now. So I'm going to take that cue and hop out if we can. The cell looks weak, still about 10 or so minutes. We'll pop out of here and we'll take a break. Quanticossee. Thank you, Alexa. Again, I'm not local to the Tri-City area, so if I'm mispronouncing stuff, feel free to correct me in chat. I appreciate your guys' help with that. I know we can't get all this stuff right, but we try. We try our best. Just like back in school. Sound it out. Another statement coming in, probably for the one up here in Bad Axe. Pea-size hail and 30-mile-per-hour winds with that cell, so that is even further away from severe criteria, which is great news for us. Bad Axe, Verona, Ubly, close to Harbor Beach, not quite there just yet. Speaking of Harbor Beach, we do have a camera there. Not seeing too much on it just yet, but if we do have a view, I will show you guys. We're more so looking at the Manistee cam, as that cell is still offshore. I believe we're looking at the one out ahead of it moving to the north. The one behind it is what I'm more concerned about. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. This is facing pretty much due west off of the Hampton Inn and Suites up there. This is courtesy of Garchin Technologies for sponsoring and 6 a.m. hospitality services for hosting. But we're looking at the radar there. Basically, when you see Manistee on your screen, center right of your screen, you're basically looking due west off the water at the cell here. So we might be seeing the parts of this northern cell, but I think we're actually looking at that cell here moving our direction. And the wind on that continues to look very strong in nature. So Manistee, if you're caught off guard by this or surrounding areas, there's no reason to be. We're giving you about an hour and a half of heads up with this. Okay, so it's Ubly. Okay. My bad. My bad. So it's Quanacasi and Ubly. Hail core now over the state wildlife area. Copy. You see what's heading toward Manistee? Copy. All right, back to chat here into the radar. I think this cell is on its way out. Could have some hail still falling there on the M25 corridor region. My hope and my prayer is that the warning expires so we can hop out of here for a brief time. While we're just sitting and watching this storm head out into Lake Huron, if you haven't already hit the like button on the stream on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to do so. Helps us out, also helps the algorithm out, so feel free. It's free to do. And there's no reason not to do it, because the more people like the video, the more people Facebook and YouTube recommends the video to. So it helps us out a lot. It doesn't cost you a dime. I'm going to sit up here. I've been laying back for a minute. My office here is hot. It is 86 degrees outside. And inside with my PC running in this room, it is 82 degrees. If I start sweating here, guys, I'm going to have to probably run out and turn my AC on lower because it is not effectively cooling this room. But in the meantime, though, we are still live tracking the cell. The hail core is now on Lake Huron, heading toward Oakhurst and Wisner areas. I do not think it is severe. Let me check on the advanced radar quickly to see if I can get a hail size on that. It's suggesting that hail on it is less than 1 inch in diameter. Let's go up in height here. 16,000 foot core on that. Let's go up even higher. I mean, it's got a decent core still. 30,000 feet core. And the hail core stops about 20,000 feet. So it's borderline severe. So it's not weak enough yet for me to want to hop off, but hopefully we get close to that. put a fan on my wish list. I have a floor fan, a full size, in my doorway pointing into this room. I also have two of these, whatever you want to call them, handheld battery powered fans that are running as well. So I am keeping myself cool as best as I possibly can. The problem is if I get too cold, that's not a good thing either because I don't like being cold. So it's kind of a mix of heat intolerance, cold intolerance, and AC issues. All right, back off to the west here toward Manistee. We're still seeing that sail about halfway on the lake between Wisconsin and Michigan. This has my concern, has had my concern for the past couple of scans. And it's still on a beeline to Manistee. If I do that, Yoder, I have to put the fan in the room, and then I have people complain about my sound being too loud, so I can't put the fan directly in the room. Back up here to Bad Axe and Ubly areas. Velocity on this is still looking pretty minor in nature. The hail tracker also looks pretty minor in nature, so that continues to be pea-sized hail and wind gusts to 30 miles per hour possible. I don't know if this is just not being canceled by NWS or what's going on with the Midland area, but if you're in Penn County or Midland, hold on, actually. I wonder if this is a radar issue. Nope, it's not a radar issue. So keeping an eye on this Midland and Penn County area and also Bay City and Auburn, anywhere between, you're all clear. There's a warning in effect here, but you guys have 0 storms heading your direction. Very, very small corridor here over in the Essexville area near Quanticossee. That's going to be heading onto Lake Huron and into Bradleyville and Wisner areas shortly. I would anticipate them to either trim this back significantly or cancel it at some point because this is a large warning that's in effect for no reason that I can see back here for Midland County and much of Bay County as well as all of Saginaw. $half size hail being reported there in, it appears to be Freeland. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, because there is severe weather occurring, we're going to have to delay our announcement at 6 o'clock. So if we can hop off of here, I'll talk with the team to see if they want to do it real quick. But I think we'll have to pause that until tomorrow or maybe even Wednesday just to allow severe weather to clear out of Michigan. We'll talk about it internally as a team, though. So we get to the thumb region up here in Huron County, parts of Sanilac, Tuscola, and Bay County. The Detroit radar beam is shooting thousands upon thousands of feet up in the atmosphere. The Port Austin area at the very tip of Huron County is 8,000, almost 9,000 feet on the radar beam height. Bay County is 6,000 plus feet. So that means anything underneath 6,000 or 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet, we can't see on radar. So there's always a little bit of uncertainty with how these storms are actually evolving here in this region, just because radar data can be very, very hard to get a grip on. Just because it's not a us issue, it's not a weather service issue. It's just the limitations of the technology we have in place. So keep that in mind as well in Huron County, as well as the storm over Lake Huron. Super chat from GCB Music saying, hello, is it true there's still no timing for the storm to hit Grand Rapids area if it does? So the answer, there's always been a little bit of uncertainty with how the day evolves here. If there's going to be any development that occurs, it's going to happen between now and 7 or so. Next hour, an hour and a half would be the place for it to happen. Right now, though, it appears that much of the stuff happening and popping up is happening to the north. So at this current time, I'm going to say your odds down in Grand Rapids Metro are on the lower end. Not impossible, but I'm going to check latest guidance here one more time to see if it's changed. But being we're close to 6 o'clock hour here, I would anticipate there not being much that pops up here for you. I think the activity is going to stay to your north tonight. The storm is now almost completely out of the warning polygon. Still not sure why they haven't trimmed back Bay, Midland, and Saginaw counties here, because it's affecting probably 5 to 10 square miles of Bay County instead of the entire county. Okay, they just dropped that one off. Speaking of the devil. The hail core on this now is growing. So Oakhurst, Wisner, up to Fish Point State Wildlife Area. Be mindful, you have a storm with a good-sized hail core on it now. I would not be shocked if they were to reissue a warning, probably for quarter-size hail. I wouldn't anticipate anything larger than that. But that will be one to watch here closely. They just canceled the warnings. Okay, they canceled it, but the storm is now intensifying. So with that said, I do not think we should hop off just yet. So all clear, just some statements now in effect. And in the meantime, guys, what I'm going to do now, since we have a bit of a break, I'm not going to end the stream, but I am going to run and grab my food for the next 2 hours, just in case. So I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to pull up a camera here in Sebring, courtesy of Countryside Transportation Service. I'm going to let you guys watch this camera here while I go run and grab some food in like a minute or two. So bear with me. I will be right back. Food is always a trigger. It always has been here at Michigan Storm Chasers. I'm aware there is a severe warning now in effect for the cell we just got done talking about. So no surprise there by any means. In the meantime, we'll take it back to the radar really quickly. My food is in the microwave, so I can grab it still here in a minute. But in the meantime, Oakhurst, Wisner, up to Sebring is going to be the immediate path to this. Unionville as well. 60 mile per hour winds and 1 inch hail is your going hazards there. So baseline severe is occurring with this storm. I also am seeing something on the Sebring camera that is quite interesting in nature. And that is a potential wall cloud developing on this cell. I don't know for sure just yet, but there's definitely an inflow tail to this storm that may be trying to build a wall cloud as it heads up towards Sebring. My food is done. I will be back in another 30 seconds here. But in the meantime, watch that cell very closely. You have eyes on it right now. If there's a hail core, it's going to be just north of Wisner over Oakhurst, just following very closely to M25. So if you're in Oakhurst, Wisner, Sebring, or Unionville, be inside away from windows. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, guys. I apologize for that. Again, working solo in the studio today. There's not much I can do to give myself a break, so I'm trying to take them as they come. But unfortunately, the ever knowing food trigger for storms has never failed. So went and got food, new warning, and now we're back. That appears to be a wall cloud developing here on the Sebring camera. If you guys do not know what that means, a wall cloud is a precursor, can be, not is, but can be a precursor to tornadoes. So we're going to watch this very carefully here on the Sebring camera. Get myself situated back in here. Oh, that's what it is. You are getting a very, very raw version of Michigan Storm Chasers today. So if you are turned off by it, I apologize. But we are human after all. So I'm trying to do my best here. Get myself situated. But I think we're good for now, at least. I got my food good to go. Just got to eat at some point. In the meantime, though, we have eyes on this cell, so I can't really... Copy. Tyler, center top of your screen there is actually looking directly at it. He's on this cell looking at it. So we have two angles on it. So thank you, Tyler, for that. Again, this appears to be a wall cloud that is forming or has formed on this particular cell. This is facing southwest in Sebring or near Sebring, courtesy of Countryside Transportation Service. So very interesting development with this. In fact, on radar, it is beginning to rotate. So this has a heightened concern now from me, just because it's not tight rotation. I'm not calling it a tornado imminent rotation, but it is rotating. So this is 100 and 10% on screen currently a wall cloud that is developing with the storm. And we're just going to leave it at that point. Excuse me. Tyler, are you noticing any rotation in those clouds you're seeing? Copy. So the bulk of the hail core now, there's a bit of a few areas here. Just west of Unionville, this hail core stretches from M25 back to Oakhurst, down to Wisner, and then most of it's going to stay north of M25 here, back toward the Quanticasi area. This is going to be now moving just north of Bradleyville and heading into Wisner with the latest scan there. And the back side of this, there's some greens and reds there. The ever elusive rotation here is being depicted. There's nothing tight yet, so I don't know if it's going to tighten up. It could be from Wisner down to Akron area. So that side I do not know just yet. But in the meantime, this warrants close watching. The environment is favorable for tornadoes today. I would expect the best threat still to be back over here closer to Manistee as these storms approach the Manistee region. But at this current time, I think the most precedented concern is going to be in Tuscola County. Back to the camera here at the Seaboing. This is going to be Countryside Transportation Service facing southwest over the open fields of Seaboing. And I'm assuming that tail cloud on the left side of your screen, that rain-free base, is going to be where this rotation is. And if there's going to be a tornado with this storm, it's going to be right underneath that rain-free base, just above the garage on the left side of your screen. Tyler has said he does not see any cloud level rotation at this time, which is reassuring. There also, to note, there is no possible tornado tag with this warning. It's just a baseline 60 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail. I see on Tyler's cam that he's getting some wind. And indeed, he is getting wind. Very gusty winds there. How strong are those winds do you estimate there, Tyler? Copy. Okay, they just updated the warning here. Did they change anything? How large? Okay, they just upgraded the warning to ping pong ball size hail. Ping pong ball size hail. So Wisner to Unionville needs to be inside, away from windows. This is going to be another prolific hail producer. And the funny thing is, it's heading right for our camera. So go figure on that. Tyler's reporting quarter size hail there where he is at in Unionville. I'd be getting out of there, man, if I were you. Copy. Back to radar here for a brief moment. The new scan here does pick up on the we call it DBZ or reflectivity. The colors are changing from reds to more purples. So the higher the DBZ value, basically top left of your screen there, the further you get to the right of that, the more extreme the precipitation rate and the better the chances of hail are that is occurring with this storm. Ping pong ball size hail now for Unionville, Wisner area, Oakhurst. Again, this would not shock me to see this upgraded to a considerable, and again, we've already seen it once today, but destructive severe also possible. But with this case, look at the radar here. I would, this is borderline at very least considerable warning. In fact, GR2, the advanced radar software that I use, says a hail marker 3.42 inches. If there were indeed, which I don't think there is, but if there were indeed 3.42 inch hail falling, that is grapefruit or softball grapefruit size hail. Because baseball is 2.75. I'm trying to think next one up. I think it's softball. So we'll see what they do with this. Again, it would not shock me to see a considerable warning come in for this, or perhaps destructive. The bulk of this is going to be in two places, many places actually, from Unionville down to M25, back to Oakhurst, and down toward Wisner, just north of Akron. Anywhere you see the purples and blacks has potential for large hail with this storm. Back to our camera here. Again, the cell continues to move closer and closer. Still seeing that rain-free base on the left side of this camera here. It's going to go out of frame, but it does warrant watching. In fact, the rotation is actually, it's side-lobed. Never mind. It looked good on radar here. I'll show you guys what this is. So you see how the reds and greens are starting to spike here? If this were to happen over the rain, it would be more concerning. But when I change this to our rain radar, you're noticing the rotation's actually out ahead of this. That's in the wrong spot. It needs to be back here in the rain. So that's what we call side lobe contamination. So likely not rotation there occurring, but more so just clutter. A bit of an educational piece for you guys there. Over here toward Verona and the Ubli areas, heading toward Harbor Beach, this cell currently not warned, but could have some gusty winds in the eastern part of Huron County as well. Looks like Port Austin's getting some rain too. We have a Port Austin camera. And not much to write home about there on the Port Austin cam. The hail tracker on this is insane. This whole entire hail core is starting to concern me. It's a wide area here from Unionville back down to Wisner and Akron areas. M25, M24 as well, roughly down to 138 as far north as the Fish Point State Wildlife Area. Likely getting very large hail with this cell. And in fact, we're starting to see a hook on this now as well here. Yeah, latest scan there doesn't line up. It's 3 minutes old, so wait for the new scan and velocity to pick up that. Tyler, if you go just south of that hail core near Akron and then go in behind it to see how big of a stone you can find, that'd probably be really beneficial.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Not surprising. So we talked about the rotation here. Yeah, make sure Chandler's aware of that, please, or if you can get that yourself, that'd be great. Tornado warning now in effect here for this cell. It is 4 rotation has been occurring with this cell, but I want to make note, we talked about the rotation about 2 scans ago that was side-lobed, but overall the storm has been rotating here since Wisner area very broadly and now has since picked up intensity over the past couple of minutes. We just talked about the hook forming. So again, the radar beam at this location is about 5,000 to 6,000 feet off the ground. So right now, we are likely seeing very inconclusive data here in the Akron area. If there's going to be anything tornadic, it's going to be between Akron and Unionville, going to cross M24 and head toward Colling, Colwood, and Buck areas. Back to our weather camera here in Sebring. On the left side of your screen, that is the wall cloud still on your screen that we've been tracking continuously for the past probably 10 or 15 minutes. If there's going to be a tornado with this storm, it's going to happen underneath that rain-free base just above the left side of that shed / garage there on the left side of your screen. So that's going to be the area of interest. We're probably going to lose that here. Tyler, I'm sure you're aware, but there is now a tornado warning in effect for your cell. Center of rotation, even though it's not overly tight, is just to the west of US 24. Okay, latest scan takes a lot of the velocity and weakens it, which is good news. Taking back the radar very quickly. The last scan there is inconclusive of anything significant, so that is at very least good news. Tyler, in the top center of your screen, is actually chasing right in line with the storm. We have the weather camera we're watching as well, so we have all angles on this storm for you guys here. Again, we are tracking a tornado warning now in effect, and for some reason my radar software continues to glitch out. So we'll take back the weather cam here, and I'll go ahead and refresh my radar feed just to take care of that real quick. The text of the tornado warning says golf ball size hail now as well at this storm. So golf ball size hail in addition to the tornado warning. It says the warning's in effect for northern Tuscola and southwestern Huron County until 6:45. At 6:07, a storm capable of producing a tornado is located near Akron, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Storm will be near Unionville 6:10, Gagetown 6:15, Cass City and Owendale at 6:20 p.m. I want to remind all of you, with the thumb region storms, the radar is often inconclusive. So we may not see tight rotation. We may not see a debris ball. But we have seen this time and time again where storms, quote unquote, fly under the radar. And that's a very good term for it because these storms cannot be depicted well by the radar beam because, again, we're about 6,000 feet up in the atmosphere here. Regardless of anything rotating, I can say with certainty there is likely extremely large hail falling in Unionville, heading toward Colling and Colwood. Tyler has a look on it. We'll take you full, Tyler. There you go. You are now full. Wow. You are full. Is that rotating? Okay, Tyler said it's rotating. I just refreshed his feed here to try to get a bit of a better visual. I hope I didn't kill that. Come back, Tyler. Sounds good, Chandler. Tyler, refresh your feed for me, please. I tried to get him a clearer image there. Doesn't want to come back, though. He might be in a low signal spot, potentially. He is in Unionville, looking right at the storm here. Copy. I'm having a hard time getting you. He is just south of Unionville. We'll take back the radar here. Tyler's feed will be in the top center of your screen. If he comes back, yell at me. In the meantime, though, he is just south of Unionville, looking directly at the area of interest within this storm. So if there's going to be a tornado, he's going to look right at it. He's going to let us know in real time. But right now, very large hail likely falling in Unionville, down to headed toward Colling and Colwood areas, close to the Columbia Township State Game area. This is likely golf ball size hail, if not larger, falling here. Would not be shocked to see an upgrade to a destructive severe, but of course the tornado warning itself does include up to golf ball size hail. I want to go back to Tyler and refresh him to see if we can't get his feed back here. I'm still not having a hard time getting him. There he is. You're back. Got you back, Tyler. He's on the move again here. We're going to leave him up just for the time being. He is on, I believe, I'm trying to get my bearings here. Are you headed east right now or heading south or north? North. He's probably on 24. Copy. He is near Akron, heading north on 24, about to go east toward Colling and Colwood areas. The warning has now been upgraded to 2-inch hail. So we're now at lime-size hail now on this warning, heading in toward Colling, Colwood, and Bach areas. Rotation with this storm is going to be directly west of Colling area, heading into the Colwood area. Again, 2-inch hail is now possible or likely within this storm. Chandler, if you could put a text post out for that 2-inch hail heading toward Colling and Colwood, that'd be great. If you said something, I couldn't hear you. Okay, we're going to get Chandler in here on the audio as well. If you want to come into this chat here, you are now, I believe, say something.
Say something.
So you guys should be able to hear Chandler now coming through on my back end of the stream. So Chandler is joining us.
Ryan, on it.
What?
Said my camera's on too if you need it.
Perfect. Say hi to Chandler, who's just popped in below me. All right, again, we're live here. Tornado warning in effect for portions of Tuscola, as well as Huron County till 6:45 p.m. The area of rotation heading in toward the Colling area is going to be just to the east of M24, very close to Hope Road, cross of French Road. Downstream will be Colling Road, Rick Road, Ashmore Road, and Colwood Road. Center rotation does not appear to be overly tight, but again, we are in the thumb of Michigan, so radar coverage in this particular area is lacking significantly. There is definitely rotation with this storm. We have eyes on it. We have Tyler, who is our chaser, out there. He is heading east now. The area of rotation on Tyler's camera will be off to the left of your screen, so we're going to wait for him to get in a better position here, which will be pretty soon. The thumb is pretty open, so we don't have to find too many spots to kind of park and get a good view because it's usually just generally open in general. So with that being said, once Tyler's in position, we're going to have a really good look at the storm to see what it's doing in real time here. In the meantime, though, back to our radar. We have him up in the top center of your screen. Back to the radar, we see very large hail likely still occurring over Unionville, heading toward Bach, Colwood, and Colling areas. Anywhere you see in this purple color is going to be that concern for the large hail. Aside from this cell in particular, I want to take attention very quickly back west here toward Manistee. Been tracking this storm heading into Manistee, and that still has potential to be severe in nature. The velocity is inconclusive on it for right now. Very gusty here on the Grand Rapids radar, but I do have the weather camera in Manistee pulled up. Beautiful shelf cloud rolling in here, courtesy of Guardian Technologies and 6 p.m. Hospitality Center, or partner, should I say. And I want to zoom in. I'm going to assume that is Scud, but that is Omnius. We'll come back to that. Regardless, though, beautiful shelf cloud moving into Manistee here. I would expect at very least, to have some gusty winds with this storm. I would also be concerned for rotation with it as well. Back to Tuscola and Huron counties. The Unionville cell is prolific hail producer occurring now. New warning coming in now for the Harbor Beach cell. Looks like we have a warning for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds for the Verona Harbor Beach region along the 142 corridor. New warning coming in as well, looks like, for Benzie County for quarter-sized hail penny-sized hail, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. We're getting rapid-fire warnings now. let's talk about this on radar. First and foremost, the new warning for Huron County is for Verona, east of Bad Axe, north of Ubly. 142 corridor, center of the core of this is just south of Verona, going to be over the Game State area, South Verona Road, Purdy Road, and Parisville Road. Moving off to the east, northeast toward Harbor Beach, we have a camera there. We can take that very quickly. Take a look at that, pull that in. Not a great look at things, but we'll track it here as it gets closer. Back to Manistee, their cell heading toward Manistee is now severe warned. Let's take a look at that warning quickly. 60-mile-per-hour winds in Penny-Size Hill for Onekama, Bear Lake, Pleasanton, Thomasville, Weldon, and Beulah areas. We'll track that very, very closely. This is going to be a look at the storm rolling in now off of Manistee. The area of interest is basically directly in front of the camera, but the radar here, the warning polygon is going to be right here, the yellow box on your screen, from Frankfort to Beulah down to Onekama over toward Thompsonville areas. Again, this is still offshore, about probably 5 to 10 miles, but it is moving to the east-northeast quite rapidly here. Back to the tornado warning as that takes precedence here. Very large hail likely still falling in the Colling, Bach, and Unionville areas. Rotation still appears to be on the weaker side of things, but I will say again, the thumb is notorious for having storms produce tornadoes underneath the radar because the radar beam is not good at getting into the lowest levels of the atmosphere where tornadoes would occur today. So we are still treating this as significant rotation heading toward Gagetown, Owendale, Elmwood, and Cass City areas. You guys need to be inside and away from windows and the lowest floor of your house. Tyler, it looks like about to turn. We'll take Tyler's cam back here and take a look at what the storm looks like on the south side of the storm. He is now turning north. So the area of interest is now directly in front of Tyler. I do not see much of anything here. I'll radio him to get a confirmation on that. Anything of concern there you see, Tyler? Copy. So he says there's some very broad rotation on the surface of cloud bases, but there's nothing overly concerning at this time. The tornado warning text continues to highlight up to lime-sized hail, 2-inch hail, and that'll be just east of Unionville heading toward Owendale and Gagetown, as well as Bach areas, closely following Bay City Forestville Road and Huron Line Road. Tornado warning continues. It's in effect for 23 more minutes. We'll probably see a couple trims on that. Back to the radar we go. Looks like Tyler is going to continue to chase that storm into Huron County. He's currently near Cairo, Michigan. Back to the radar, though. This storm up here, heading into Harbor Beach, continues to track very closely along 142 north of Pawlowski and Parisville. And this is going to be for... they actually changed this, I believe, Chandler. They added a tornado possible tag on this one as well.
For which one?
The Huron County cell, Bad Axe to Harbor Beach. I don't recall seeing that tag on it originally.
Correct. Yep. That's in the new graphic, tornado possible.
All right, cool. So,
You want to look at the Manistee cam? Yeah, I was just going to say, see what's going on with that.
yeah, Manistee, this is again a severe warning now. This is a beautiful, we call a shelf cloud. A shelf cloud is basically when a storm has a lot of cold air rushing out and up from a storm, and it pushes out ahead of the main gust front of the storm. And with that being said, it forms a elongated cloud that's kind of raggedy in nature, just like on your screen currently. These are not dangerous by themselves, but they can sometimes be precursors to some pretty strong wind gusts. Chandler, can you talk for maybe like 2 seconds while I go grab something real quick?
Yep, give me a second here.
I'll be
You
back in
wanna
like
leave it
20
up?
seconds at most. Give me a second.
Okay. Ryan is stepping out for reasons that we can all speculate about in the comments. What we're looking at here is a live view, I believe from our Manistee camera, looking out over Lake Michigan to the west of a gorgeous shelf cloud coming in off of Lake Michigan. Truly a beautiful sight to behold. Shelf clouds are more of those stereotypical thunderstorm clouds where they're nice and long and they look close to the ground. Tornado risk with them is low. That's the good news. Usually they have heavy rain, maybe some hail, and some stronger winds with them in association. Seeing that camera bounce just a little bit, indicating that the winds are picking up right out in front of this. But this is a stereotypical, really shelf cloud and, just beautiful early summer, late spring thunderstorm coming on shore here soon. I do not have the ability to look at anything else. Ryan has those abilities, so when he comes back from his hiatus, we will take a look at something different. I don't see anything on Tyler's stream right now, and it looks like Joel is in a position potentially to be intercepting later if he is going to continue his chase this evening. Tornado warning right now does continue for the east side of the state. Seeing if we had any hail reports or anything out of there. Just looking at the radar on the back end here at my phone. I see some broad rotation there inside that tornado warning, but nothing that would make me think tornado is imminent at this time. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of the storm that is on the screen. The
I'm back.
hazards with that are 50-mile-an-hour winds. Welcome back. And penny-sized hail. I don't know, Ryan, if you can grab a screen grab of that and send it to Chat B, I can get it into the or onto the page if you would like it, or if you want to continue to do that on your hiatus real quick.
Nope, I got you. Stand by, coming in. I believe there's a new MD that just got issued as well.
There is a new MD. I have not had a chance to read it yet.
You
but
can read it
there is
now.
one out.
I'm gonna try and eat here in between our talking phases here. I just got my food, put some stuff on top of it, so I'm good to go now. Tornado warning continues for Huron and Tuscola counties. Rotation, as Chandler alluded to, is still weak in nature. If there is a tornado or rotation, it's heading in toward Gagetown at the current moment. So Gagetown needs to be underground right now. Eventually moving just north of Cass City and toward Ivanhoe and New Greenleaf areas on M53. The Harbor Beach camera may have a good visual on this coming into view. Oh, goodness gracious. Manistee is just gorgeous. Harbor Beach does not have a good view at all. I kind of just want to leave it on the Manistee cam as we just had it there, but this is just a gorgeous look at things here. Taking a peek at the velocity on this, there also is some rotation that is showing up on this cell. Taking this off. So I'll have to watch that very closely in the Manistee area. If there's any rotation, Chandler, I'm looking at the back side of that storm underneath that shelf cloud. Is that a rain-free base back there that I potentially am seeing?
Yeah.
So
It's like
this may
4
have...
pixel screen, so I'll take a look on my end here.
Yeah, so this is... I can probably up the quality on this too. But there is some embedded rotation with this cell that might be looking at this below that shelf cloud there in the background. That's where we'd be watching. Chandler, if you're going to post that picture, feel free to tag Garjan in that, please.
Do I need to tag the host location or just Garjan?
Garjan and 6 p.m. Hospitality Partners. Again, this is a severe warning now in effect for 2 counties. It's going to be for Benzie and Manistee counties until 7:15 p.m. The storm on your screen currently is warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. There is some broad rotation embedded in that storm, but it will be in or near Arcadia and Pierport by 6:30, Frankfort, Onekama, Alberta, Bear Lake, and Wildwood around 6:35, Norwalk at 6:40, Beulah and Benzonia 6:45, Thompsonville, Kopemish, Honor, and Kaliva at 6:50, Kopemish at 6:55. What a gorgeous storm, man.
Ryan, in B chat here, I do have a picture from Cass City, Michigan, as of 6:27 p.m. Just so you can see what is going on there.
Copy. I have an updated picture coming your way too. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty much a outflow dominant storm.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm seeing. So that's good news. So Chandler sent me a picture here from the storm that's currently warned up in Cass City. And I'm seeing a shelf cloud out ahead of some rain, which usually indicates that's likely containing some outflow with it. Unless there is some sort of boundary there that could be tapping into it. But overall, I'm looking at that storm on radar. I do not see much rotation with it. I would actually go so far as to say the one up in Harbor Beach, it looks equivalent to the one down as warned. So at this current time, I'm going to assume that that is a minimal risk there for something tornadic. The Manistee cameras continue to impress. I got the North Cam pulled up here. What an impressive looking shelf cloud coming into view here. That is facing north here. This is the Aurora camera, the famous Aurora cam we usually have on YouTube during our Aurora events. But this is absolutely gorgeous, courtesy of Guardian Technologies for the sponsor, and as well as 6 p.m. Hospitality Partners for the host location on this. Beautiful shelf cloud there. Ludington cam as well. This is facing north out of Ludington, courtesy of JC's Mini Golf. Can't see much there. The storm is actually up in Manistee, so about 10 miles north, 15 miles north. So this is your storm as it moves into Manistee. The hail core on the cell that's warned for a tornado back in the county line of Huron and Tuscola, that core appears to have come down. I don't see much signifying significant hail falling, but it does still have a hail core, likely some quarters to perhaps $half falling out of that cell at the current time, maybe as large as golf balls, but I think it's below that at this current time. We're just going to leave this up here as this shelf cloud rolls into Manistee. I'm also very curious to see how windy it gets here with the Manistee cell. Looking at the rotation on the cell here on camera, still has a little bit embedded in there, but not anything that sticks out to me. Chandler, I'd be kind of concerned as the cell moves on to land here. It may encounter a more unstable environment, and that may try to kick off a few things as well with the tornadic side of things. So I want to watch this cell very carefully. At the current moment, though, you can kind of see how that shelf cloud is ahead of the rain. That is outflow winds pushing out from this storm. So this is likely very gusty, but we want to see storms take on inflow. When they go outflow, usually that means they're weakening or they're stabilizing. When they're inflow dominant, that means they're strengthening. So with that shelf cloud being well ahead of the rain core, that tells me we have some type of outflow boundary pushing out from this storm at the current moment, though. That could change, though. What a gorgeous shot here, though.
It really doesn't get more textbook or stereotypical than that.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. We also have cells popping up all across northern lower Michigan from Kalkaska to Grayling to Mayo to Alcona. I'm going to take a peek real quick at mesoanalysis to figure out where that warm front's at so I can get a better idea if these storms are going to be elevated or surface-based. Okay, those are well above the warm front. In fact, the cell in Manistee, Chandler, is actually north of the warm front.
I figured as much. I mean, just based on what we're seeing here.
I got some rotating scud on my shot here if you want to take my shot full.
Who's
That was Tyler, if you could hear that. I don't know if you could or not. You got a very blurry image. I'm going to try to refresh this again. We'll see if it comes back immediately. Yeah, a bit better. Kind of not really.
I think you just put Manistee back up there.
You are blurry, Tyler.
Here. I am curious in what that is in the middle there. Like if you walked straight out behind the pier. Yeah. If you guys can't see me on the screen, I have my other screen set up over here, so I'm zoomed in trying to see what's on the screen here.
You know, Chandler, there is rotation on radar. If you look just offshore of Onekama, on the north side of the cell, that it could be something.
I just don't believe it's in the best environment to be able to take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree with you.
It's pretty sus, as they say.
If you look at the scud on the left side of that lowering, it is moving pretty good. I can't tell if it's just getting whipped around by the wind or if it's actually rotating. It's very hard to tell with this far away. Beautiful shot regardless.
Whoa.
The more I'm more curious currently of how windy it's about to get here. So I'm watching those trees very closely to see how much they sway and how much they move around.
New image coming to VChat for you, Ryan.
I'm there.
I don't know what just happened here. We're gonna try this again. Trying to figure out an exact location for this. It says north of Highway 81, which I believe is in the Thumb area. I will.
What highway is that?
It says north of Highway 81. I'm sending the picture right now.
81. Yeah, that's Cass City area.
Okay, that's what I thought. Why is this not saving properly? Hang on, give me just a sec here.
All right, new warning incoming for the southern part of Huron County, and the very far northern part of Sanilac County. Take the radar back here. This is going to be a new warning just got issued. Forestville, Minden, Argyle areas, the cell in Cass City, moving to the east, has potential for some larger hail falling there. We'll take the Detroit radar off that. There we go. There may be some rotation in Cass City, Chandler.
That's kind of what I'm letting. Take a look at that image in the beach.
I just did.
Thing.
Yeah, I got you. It's very hard to depict because it looks like an edge of a shelf cloud, but it also looks like it's flying toward the rain. So it's kind of like a toss-up there. So there could be some rotation directly over Cass City. Be very mindful of that. It is currently in the tornado warning polygon, but it is moving into a severe warning that does not have a possible tornado tag on that. So watch that southern warning there, Chandler, for an upgrade to a possible potential tag on there for a tornado. In the meantime, though, if there is a rotation or a tornado, it's gonna be in Cass City right now, very close to Highway 81. Now, again, we like to line up the rotation where this brighter red is meeting that green over Cass City. If I switch this to radar, I want to see that line up in the rain, in the greens and yellows and reds. It's kind of on the side, so it still could be clutter. It's close, but it's close enough that I am concerned that could be legitimate rotation. We'll track that very cautiously, very carefully here. Harbor Beach is now being impacted, as well as Manistee. Manistee cam is shaking around. The Harbor Beach cell just got upgraded, or updated, not graded, but updated. And it continues for 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail, and a possible tornado tag on that. The Harbor Beach camera still remains a gray mess. There's no definitive features to really call out and look at. So at the current time, not seeing anything significant there. We have no cameras on that Cass City cell. Tyler, are you watching stream by chance?
Yeah, what you need?
Okay. I don't know what your plan is, but if you want to head toward Cass City, that's probably the best place to be right now.
That's what I'm setting anyways because I need gas.
There you go. Tyler's on top of it. On top, Tyler. All right, back to the radar here. Back up to Manistee.
Your report of a lot of scud rotating in Cass City.
Well, there you go.
Take that for what you will.
Looking further at the Manistee cell, the environment, the warm front as of 40 minutes ago was just about a half county south. So there is potential, Chandler, if that warm front has advanced anywhere further north, that may try to latch onto it or be very close to it. So I do think that south side of that cell in Manistee does warrant some attention. I just don't know how much just yet. Focus should remain on the thumb region here for the time being. We'll leave it right here for now. If you're just tuning in, we have been live for about 2.5 hours now for multiple severe warnings. We had a destructive severe warning for baseball-sized hail back in the Bay City area. And now we've been covering a couple severe storms up in the thumb, a tornado warning, as well as a severe warning up in Benzie and Manistee County on the west part of Michigan. Our night, I would say, is probably wrapping up here soon, I have to imagine. These cells are going to move on to Lake Huron eventually, and the cells to the north may produce hail, but if they can't be rooted in the warm front, the warm sector, they're not going to do much tonight. Chandler, I'm going to mute myself occasionally, and I'm going to start eating this before I starve to death.
Just tell me when you do it, so that way it's not quiet, and I sit here going, wow, Ryan's been quiet for a few minutes.
Okay, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, thank you.
I'll control radar if you want me to. Just talk about it.
Matter. Whenever you leave it on, I'll be able to ramble on about. So Ryan has his radar up here for the east side of the state. He has the severe thunderstorm warnings and the tornado warning that is still in effect at this time. Right now, that is our highest active alert in the state of Michigan. At this point in time, I really don't see any major close tight rotation. But again, the thumb is notorious for having tornadoes that happen under the radar beam. So just because there's not anything right now doesn't mean that there's not anything going on. Based on what I'm seeing from a few viewers, sending in pictures, as well as what we can see based on radar, I don't believe that there is anything really major to worry about. Obviously, we still want to be taking shelter. We still want to heed these warnings, make sure that we're doing the right thing and being safe. I know you guys can't hear me. I don't have a good mic here like Ryan does. He has one that hangs right by him like this. So I'm trying to shout into the microphone as I can. But soon I'll have a microphone here, being that I'm not on the live stream all that often. I have not invested in a high-end microphone. So if anyone was outside my office door, they would definitely be asking me why I'm shouting. But the good news is we'll keep things moving along here. This is what we are seeing on the east side of the state right now. We can see Tyler changing his view to get a better view of that Cass City storm. This thing is headed due east right now. Moving at about 30 to 35 knots, so it'll be working its way east a little bit more throughout the night as well. But now everybody wants to hear me fine right after I start shouting into the microphone. Love it.
I turned you up all the way.
Well, I feel bad for anyone that has to listen to me, so I apologize for that. But we continue to monitor a few severe storms across the state right now. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in northwest Michigan as well. For I believe 60 mile an hour wind gusts and penny size hail is what that one is warned for. Just want to make sure that I have that correctly. Again, that's going to be Benzie and Manistee counties up on the northeast side of the state. And here we are looking back into that storm from our Manistee camera. This is compliments of Guardian Technologies and the 6 p.m. hospitality group. Looks like the waves are picking up a little bit outside of the breakwater there. Wouldn't surprise me if there's some pretty gusty winds coming in with this. But a really textbook shelf cloud and severe thunderstorm for late spring. It looks like they have let that tornado warning that was in the east side of the state expire. So that's the good news, which takes our highest active alert to a severe thunderstorm warning, which is the one for Benzie and Manistee County. Ryan, this thing, that storm over by, I was going to say by Cass City looks to be cycling and almost turning and turning directly to the right again. So I wouldn't be completely shocked small time from now in the future to see if they do re-warn that, just based on what we can see here. Obviously, we don't know that for sure. Apologize, I'm looking at a viewer video here that was sent in from Cass City. Again, if you guys have pictures or videos that you want to send us, you can do so through the Michigan Storm Chasers Facebook page or our contact email at contact@michiganstormchasers.com. And a new platform that will be announced sometime within the next 2 weeks once we complete it. We don't have an ETA on that yet, but we are expecting an ETA on it soon. If you're not really in the Huron, Sanilac, or Benzie, Manistee counties, there's really not a lot going on tonight for you guys. It's a pretty nice night. It was a nice warm day. We felt our first kind of summer-like humidity throughout the state today, which was refreshing to feel. Those of you who have been itching to plant gardens for the last 3 months, I'm sure were loving it. It was a beautiful day. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this, Ryan.
Yeah, I am too. One thing to note, though, Chandler, it could be side lobe, because when you look at this, it's on the very edge near Wickware, and you turn with reflectivity, it's not really lining up as properly as I'd like it to. So it could be side lobe, but also could be inflow to the storm. If there's any rotation there, I'd say it's very weak in nature. But again, this is how the other one started. There's definitely rotation there, but I think it's on the weaker side.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the trend of this is going to be. I mean, just from my personal experience, I mean, it kind of has that pre-look that, we kind of look for. But we will continue to watch it.
It's also the thumb. So the thumb region, we have lake breeze boundaries. Also, this is directly on the warm front. So it has a lot of things going for it for rotation. So it does have potential to produce a tornado. although the rotation that I'm seeing is weak. But as we've talked about so many times tonight, the thumb is notorious for flying under the radar with these storms and tornadoes. We've seen it numerous times where we just can't see it because radar beam is only so high up in the atmosphere. Excuse me. So looking back at the Manistee cell here, looks like the nice gust front is now moving into our Nekema, Arcadia region. Likely some gusty winds occurring there, but this storm is looking to be north of the warm front. At the 6 p.m. update, at least, it was north of the warm front. So that means it's not going to tap into the surface fuel, so it's going to be more of a hail producer, maybe some gusty winds. Anything tornadic, though, will be dependent on if that storm can tap into the storm fuel on the surface and where that warm front is going to be located in general. Right now, I think the storm is just to the north, which is good news. I think that in the short term, that lowers the risk for anything tornadic with this storm. So really, the entire lower peninsula of Michigan is pretty much dry, minus what's happening in the Thumb region and the Manistee. Anything north, really, of Houghton Lake or Roscommon areas. You guys have some elevated storms going up there, just some rain and perhaps some thunder and lightning up there. Maybe some hail in some of these cells, but right now all these storms are north of that warm front. That tells me that it's primarily going to be a two-storm risk here this evening. Obviously, Manistee to Nekema storm, and as well as the Thumb region storm in Cass City. Chandler, this is, there you go.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
I also want to mention before we dive into this, I don't know what they warned it for hail, but the hail core on this is intensifying as well. I would not be shocked. Again, I don't know what they put. I would not be shocked if they put golf ball size hail on
inches
this.
is what it's warned for, right?
2 inches. So they're going to go lime size hail on this. The hail core on this.
A picture from Unionville with lime size hail. It's in Beachhead if you want to take a look at it, but I don't have anything that it's compared to in the size of it. So that is the hailstone I received a picture of.
I'm going to forward that to DTX right now. You said Unionville for that?
Yep. Doesn't it do this?
Ryan, for information, they warned it for 2-inch hail.
What did Tyler say?
It was just told me it's warned for 2-inch hail. The hail core on this has 70s DBZ at 23,000 feet.
Wow.
So for reference, guys, this good Lord. This core is up to 34,000 feet. Definitely every bit of lime-sized hail falling here, if not close to baseball-sized hail, if that could be a possibility here. It's going to be directly over New Greenleaf, east of M53. Chandler, if you could put a text post after the warning you put out saying that there could be a lime-sized hail heading toward Ubley, Tyre, and Friedberger, if you can see those on your...
Can you message that to the B chat, please?
So again, this is over New Greenleaf, heading directly due east. So if you live downstream in Ubley, Tyre, Minden, Peteville, Friedberger areas, the hail core is directly over Bay City Forestville Road, crossroad of Germania, I believe that's what it's called, Germania Road. And then downstream, you have Bad Axe Road. We have Wheeler Road. And we have Patterson Road downstream of this hail core. Very, very large hail likely falling here. This is every bit. We have a viewer report of what appears to be lime-sized hail, if not larger, Chandler. That might be larger.
She mentioned 3 inches was the width of her hand, so...
So that is likely perhaps baseball-sized hail. We're just going to call it baseball-sized hail for right now. Between tennis ball and baseball size is a good depiction here. With this small hail core just south of the Huron County line in the north and west corner of Sanilac County. Viewer reporting tennis ball to baseball size hail. This was in Unionville. Sorry, is that Unionville you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's not current then. That's previous then. So this cell likely producing. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and just go back to lime size with this new green leaf. Copy. Tyler's on this storm and he says, quote, "It's trying." Let's check out rotation on this one more time. It's still there. It's still weak in nature. Any rotation is going to be directly, basically over New Greenleaf or north of Wickware. Again, we're going to be on that Bay City Forestville Road and Germania Road. Same place with that hail core. Also want to check back here with that northern cell. Don't want to ignore you guys up in Beulah, Thompsonville, and Onekama areas. Definitely got some gusty winds moving through the US 31 corridor, heading toward Beulah, Weldon, Pleasanton, Caliva, and Brethren areas. There may be some embedded rotation, perhaps. It's hard to tell, though. That warm front is still sitting off to the south. I'm going to wait for the 7 p.m. update. It comes in about 5 to 6 minutes. And that should give me a better idea of where that warm front's sitting. Current indication, though, is that storm is north of it, so the concern for anything tornadic is lower until we can figure out where that warm front is. Back down here to the tornado warning here. This is going to be primarily for the northern part of Sanilac, the very far extreme portion of Huron County as well. Area of rotation just north of Argyle, south of Ubley, east of New Greenleaf, north of Cumber. If there's going to be anything tornadic, it's going to be just over the Sanilac. Petroglyphs? Is that Sanilac Petroglyph State Park? I've never heard of that word before in my life. That's going to be where it's at. We're going to pull up Tyler full screen here. He's going to be chasing this cell. It appears he has a good visual on it. Tyler, what is your direction of travel? And it says you're in Cass City. Is that accurate to your location?
I am well east of Cass City. I am just to the northwest of Argyle at this time.
Copy. So he's going to be in the Wickware and Cumber areas on the south side of the storm. I assume east or north travel. I think he's going north.
Traveling east.
Going east, okay. So he is basically on the very far southern flank of the cell. So the area of interest, if there's going to be anything rotating, would be just off to his... just to his north, if I'm looking at his location correctly, I believe that's where he is at. The hail continues to be estimated size of 2 inches per the GR2 analyst software that we use. And rotation on this continues to be weak in nature. If that hailstone picture is cleared, I'd post that on the page if you can. I don't know if you got permissions on that or not. Storm motion vector on this. I guess Joel's not here. It doesn't really matter on that. 269 at 35. So our advanced software we use, we can apply the direction the storm is moving and how fast it's moving. It can update our velocity screen for a much better depiction of what we're looking at. And what I mean by that is our typical velocity screen looks like, take it back here. our typical velocity screen looks like this. But if I put a storm motion vector in our advanced software tab, it'll look something like the right side of your screen right now. Joel uses this a lot, and it's more accurate to the representation of the storm. There's some broad rotation sitting in there on the hook of this storm. It's going to be directly over M119 between Argyle and Ubly. This is heading right toward Minden City. So if you live anywhere in between Ubly or Argyle to Minden City, in Forestville, you guys need to be underground and away from windows. The rotation here is definitely there. It's just not very strong looking at this current time. North of Cumber, Austin Center here, M19, and Bay City Forestville Road is going to be where that rotation's at. Onekama in Manistee County reports wind gust of 44 miles per hour. That's going to be on this cell here on the south side. That is likely sub-severe across the board. So that's good news. Onekama is right here on the south side of that warning. And looks like it's pretty much the same through and through. Again, waiting for the 7 p.m. update for our mesoanalysis to tell us where that warm front is at. We are about to hit 7 p.m. on the dot here. Chandler, what do you think if we can clear out here before 8 or so we announce the big announcement?
We'll see.
Okay.
They've waited 3 years. What's another 3 days, you know?
Well, chat's going to be mad at you for saying that, but...
Can't rush perfection.
Back to the storm here in Ubly. Ooh. Interesting.
Whoa.
It looks like it's side lobe still. Or inflow, one of the two. Yeah, this cell in the thumb here is directly on the warm front. Ooh, latest scan there, Chandler.
Man, Tyler's got a pretty good view. If he sits still and turns that camera back to the left a little bit, he's got a pretty good view.
So right now, guys, on radar, this is a decent hook here that has now formed, and the center rotation basically directly over M19, just north of Austin Center. This is becoming more concerning on the radar. Looks like we have a back-end report of a touchdown, Chandler, from Chat G. Just for reference there, unconfirmed report of a touchdown here. And again, if we go back to radar, I would say that this it doesn't look overly tight. Now, if we have yet another confirmation of a tornado that happened in the thumb, this is another example of it flying underneath the radar here, because that should not be happening. For right now, though, the rotation appears to be centered directly over Ubly Road and Bay City Forestville Road, heading toward the Tyre, Minden City, Peteville, and eventually toward Charleston, Ruth, White Rock, and Forestville areas. We're going to treat this as a large hailstorm as well as a tornado that is located directly on M19 right now. Unconfirmed report of a touchdown, just for reference, via behind the scenes.
I do have a video here from that area, and I'm going to go back again and watch it a minute here, but from my viewing and my viewing only, it looks to be rotating scud near ground level. So again, I'm not saying the report is bogus or anything like that. I'm just saying based on what I have seen, I am seeing a lot of rotating scud, very low, but it is 100% scud.
Okay, copy that. We're still going to treat this, though, because it is rotating. There is a tornado warning in effect here. We're still treating this as a tornado regardless, just in case there is one that we can't see, or in fact, there was a confirmed report there. But again, aside from the rotation, there is very large hail falling with this storm, and that's directly over the Bay City Forestville Road area, here on Line Road as well. Likely like close to lime-sized hail, which is 2 inches in diameter. Think golf ball, a little bit larger than golf ball, but not quite as large as a baseball. Think like lemon size. That'd be a good depiction of that. New scan coming in here on radar continues. The velocity has yet to update. We'll wait for that to come in. Rotation continues. I would have to imagine there's probably a third body scatter spike on this as well. Kind of on the north end of that. A little bit of a third body scatter spike there. Or a TBSS as we call it. Overall, though, not seeing anything here on the CC. It's very hard to depict. There's a donut hole now. Direct donut hole on radar here, Chandler. It's closing on itself. So the area of rotation. What?
Can you pull up Tyler's feed? I just want to have a little bit better look of what he's seeing there. All right.
The thumb region does not have good service. I tried to refresh it to get it nice and clear, but there it is.
I mean, he's right under it. You can see it's Scud on the right-hand side of the screen. I mean, you know what you're looking at, but...
What are you seeing out there, Tyler?
Need a picture.
All right, we're going to go back to radar here. I know after experience chasing this area, on Verizon at least, the service is terrible in the thumb region. He's probably taking a picture for you there, Chandler. He's watching the stream. He can hear us. Oh, there he goes. Tyler, anything of note? All right, we'll leave that be for a minute. I'm going to go back to radar.
Here, I'll take some place for you.
Using a turn left into this, looks like.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to see. Yeah, that's because I saw that when he turned, and I'm like,
That looks like a wall cloud. It's very hard. It's pixelated here.
Can you see if he can stop and take
Is that
some
a
pictures?
wall cloud or anything? Or your stream is very pixelated here, so we can't get a good look at it. Center of rotation, for reference, is still on Bay City Forestville Road, crossing Friedberger Road.
A little bit of a wall clip.
Look at that left edge. I don't know if it's just pixelated, and that makes it look interesting, but I mean, that left edge looked very interesting.
So I'm seeing on radar here, what the storm is doing is trying to wrap in on itself, where there's what we call a donut hole feature on radar, where it completely wrapped up on itself. And of course, I pop that in when that pops open. Let's try that. So you see right there, there's like the circle, the hook on the backside, the purple comes around. In the middle is a green little dot there. That is your rotation. The storm's trying to wrap on itself. We call that a donut hole, and that's really prevalent on storms that really try to tighten up and produce tornadoes. So if there's anything rotating, it is pretty much directly over Tyre, Bay City Forestville Road, directly perhaps just south of there. Again, crossing that Friedberger and Tyre Road areas, downstream roads here. It looks like Verona Road, and then we have Mower Road. Downstream here is going to be Oli Road or Obi Road. That continues. Also, the velocity on this, or the reflectivity, should I say, continues to have intense hail directly between Ubly and Tyre areas. I would not be shocked at this storm producing GR2 Chandler is saying 3.14 inch hail on the estimate there. Of course, that's not always accurate. But it goes to show you that this storm is likely producing very prolific hail with this storm. Rotation continues to be weak on radar here. Looking at the one panel, go up in height with this, get a scan here. Good Lord, this hail core, Chandler, is 35,000 feet still. That is insane.
Yeah, that's a big hail core. That's what you see, like, for those watching, that's what you see in a lot of storms that are out on the plains. Like, when we go storm chasing out there, we always say don't go in the hail core unless you want to drive around through baseballs and softballs. And we see hail cores like that when we're out there. It's very rare we see something that large and significant here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, we get, I'd say probably 1 to 3, maybe 5 at most big days where we have storms produce large hail, and they're not really widespread. They're pretty isolated in nature. I think back to last year, I was live in the UP for baseball size hail. We had a couple areas up there get hit. Northern Lower is notorious for that overnight events usually, but not too often we get those really large hail producers down here this far south. Not very often we see that at all. This hail core is elongated from roughly Minden City to Minden. I'm not sure if it's Minden City or Minden. But Minden area to Parisville, back toward Ubley and Tyre regions. Basically directly on this road here, Huron Line Road. It's an east-west road that runs all the way to Lake Huron to White Rock and Forestville. This is going to be very large hail falling here. Look at that third body scatter spike, Chandler. That is insane. So that is what you see. This blue, typically when you see a blue CC drop like this, it can be debris from a tornado, but in some cases the radar beam can kind of, I guess, fold on itself in a way where it shoots out this beam off a storm and when there's very large hail. And that's what we're seeing here. So this is a ginormous, what we call a third body scatter spike. You don't see those too often. You see those usually smaller in nature. This one's ginormous. Good Lord. So again, if you live on the county line of Huron, as well as Sanilac, you need to be inside, away from windows here. There is rotation, tornado warning, but aside from that, extremely large hail is likely falling with this cell. The warning is in effect for 2-inch hail, equivalent to that of a lime or a lemon size. New warning coming in for Benzie, Grand Traverse, Wexford, and Manistee County. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts is going to be the hazard there. The hail is not a concern. New warning downstream. I'm not sure why they're warning that, honestly, because the gusts on that were sub-severe. So a little bit confusing there, unless they had something else come in that I'm just not aware of. But I know Onekama gusted to 44, so it's well below severe criteria. Regardless, that warm front still appears to be sagged to the south. I don't have an update yet on mesoanalysis yet. It should update any. I'm going to refresh this actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with that. I don't think that storm is in the warm sector though. So this should primarily just be a gusty wind threat and a hail risk. Chandler, there is now a storm south of Cadillac that's just gone up. We have not talked about.
I was watching that on radar about 10-15 minutes ago and was curious what it was going to find its way into. I would also be curious to see if that is in, near, around, north of, you name it, the warm front there as well.
I can tell you this right now. So I have this pulled up. So this is a website we use called Mesoanalysis. Basically gives us real-time data in the atmosphere. Now this red line here is your surface instability, where it cuts off there in the thumb region over toward the Ludington area. That is your warm front positioning. As you can see, the storm up in Manistee is sitting just north of those red lines. The storm that just popped up is sitting right about there, which is just north of that warm front. So unless the warm front does creep north with that storm, at the current moment in the current path of that storm is moving to the northeast away from the warm front. So my thinking is elevated in nature. So hail and a gusty wind threat.
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say my thoughts out loud. We'll talk about it later, but there is also another small cell that popped up, I think, just to the south of that other one near Kingston, Marlette, Sandusky, Elmer area, back on the yeah, there you go. Unless that's been there. It's trying to rain itself out.
Yeah,
so.
it's trying, but I don't know if it's going to be successful.
There was some hail fog in Bay City earlier.
If you got a picture of that, Chandler, post on the page.
It's
Pending?
Okay. Looks like a report of quarter-size hail in Ubly?
Ubly.
Bubbly?
Ubly.
Googly moogly? Something.
Wild.
I'm not allowed to say bad words on the stream, so.
The tornado warning has been trimmed back. It now excludes Ubly. It does include Minden, Forestville, Charleston, Ruth, Parisville, and White Rock areas. The hail core is now just south of Parisville, heading toward Ruth and Minden City areas, directly over or near the crossroads of McDonald Road and Munford Road. McDonald and Munford Road. I'm going to refresh Tyler to see if he's back. He is back. Yay. So he's still on the storm here. The rotation on this storm, however, appears weak, Chandler.
Yeah, I would argue that probably the majority of what we're seeing on radar at this point in time is more from a hail spike or something like that on the velocity side of things than actual surface-based rotation.
No, I'd agree with you.
The storm just looks elevated to the southeast of Cadillac. I mean, just based on its radar presentation alone, looks elevated.
Yeah, you can tell just by looking at the reflectivity. All these storms up here, you can just tell. This one does have some surface-based look to it, but I just don't think it is. I gotta watch that area though closely though, Chandler.
Huh?
I think it is too far north, but there is some embedded areas of interesting velocities on this. Unless that's a downburst. But it's been there consistently, so it's...
At ground level here, I'm not seeing any convincing rotation here.
Copy. Back to the west and south, the entirety of western Michigan remains dry for the time being. It should remain dry for the evening. I think after these two cells are done, we are going to wrap up at this point. We're going to put Joel on overnight ops, Chandler, for the UP, because we have some storms as possible up there. I am not staying up all night again. Just kidding, I will.
Oh,
but,
wow.
in the meantime, though, another threat may materialize up in the UP later on tonight. latest model here. See if it runs its way through. There's your storms moving up into the UP. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, and after in the morning here, guys, just for reference for later on tonight. This right here is 3 o'clock in the morning. These storms up in the western UP may produce some hail and some gusty winds there, but overall speaking, there's really no risk for anything tornadic up there tonight. But of course, our mission here at MSC is to cover beginning to end from every warning, and if there's anything, we'll have to be live for it up in the UP. So later on tonight, we could see that, and then tomorrow and Tuesday will feature more risks of severe weather across much of the state. We'll have more information on that probably tomorrow morning, first thing, in video form on YouTube, as well as a briefing that's live in the morning hours tomorrow on all platforms for you guys to tune in and watch, as well as forecasts and stuff coming your way that Joel will create some point tonight. Or Alex. I'm not sure who's on the desk tonight.
Not you, not woo, me. Sorry. Woo!
What was that?
I just random clicked a sounding from tomorrow in north central Kansas, and oh boy.
Chandler is wishing he was out west right now.
No, now wait a minute. I didn't say that. I just for
It
the
was
first sound
implied.
I was like, holy moly.
It was implied.
Thought about going. I sent it. I sent it to the B chat if you want to see it. Literally, first one I clicked.
Looks like a Kansas sounding.
Uh-huh.
All right, back down here to our current warnings. We have a severe warning in effect for northern portions of Sanilac and southern portions of Huron. Also a tornado warning in effect here for, again, the very far south and east corner of Huron and north and east corner of Sanilac. Both these expire in 10 minutes. The cell that is warned is producing hail between Parisville and Minden that is likely upwards of golf ball size or perhaps lime size in diameter, up to 2 inches for reference. That storm is moving off on the Lake Huron here shortly. Actually, we may have a weather camera. I don't have it live. It's a different brand, so I can't pull it in, unfortunately. But I do have a south-facing cam at Harbor Beach as well. I want to take a peek at that real quick.
Probably for the best that it's getting real close to moving over Lake Huron, because that smaller cell that's raining itself out right now has just enough energy in it to do a small little nudger. And I mean, it's the thumb and the nudger. I mean, bet the over.
Yeah, I can see that. So what he's talking about there, the cell here, or I guess not really a cell, but what's down here, the blip of rain from Arlette to Sandusky, is heading up toward that cell. It will catch up to it, but when you have cell mergers like that, you can get some rotation spinning up there, and luckily it's going to happen, if it does happen, over Lake Huron. Attention's going to quickly shift over here to this cell in the northwest corner of lower Michigan here. Finally, my AC is kicking on. Finally. Oh, thing of beauty. Love it. Either way, though, this is going to be wrapping up our coverage very quickly, I have to imagine, once these two cells die off. And this one's about to be over lake, but still, while it's still on land here, White Rock, Ruth, Parisville areas, producing large hail, likely seeing upwards of golf ball size hail falling. It's kind of trending to the north here a little bit on the north part of that warning. So if you're up here just south of Helena, be mindful. You may not be in that warning officially, but you may still see some larger hail because that hail core is falling just on the north side of that polygon. South side of the polygon, though, not much happening down here in Peteville or Charleston or perhaps Forestville, for example. Anywhere from Ruth to White Rock, though, up toward the Helena area, will have potential for hail. Over here, this thunderstorm is warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds, continues to track toward Grant Township, Carlin, Buckley, Blair Township, and Mesick. The reports off this, though, have been sub-severe. I believe the last gust we had was 44 miles per hour. I'm going to pull up the observation map for one, and also the outage map, just to check to see what's going on there. I see Chandler in the super chat here. Oh gosh, Chandler, $2 super chat saying starting the Get Ryan Moore AC fund. Thank you, Chandler, for that. Even though you're just sitting below me here on stream.
It's nice and cool here at the office, let me tell you.
Anyway, the strongest.
Ryan, if you're really desperate, I could throw in some honeymoon money for that.
That was our storm chaser Tyler saying he might be able to use some honeymoon funds to get Ryan some AC. Might.
The good news is my AC works. The bad news is it's just not set up in a proper way to get the cold air back here. So anyway, strongest gust reported here was 44 in the Onekama area, 40 miles per hour in Bear Lake. That's it. Everything else has been sub-severe. So again, I don't understand why this is still warned. There is a gust front in there, but so far has been sub-severe for this storm. Looking at the outage map as well, I'll take a peek at that. Actually, we have 4,300 people out. And to be completely fair, Benzie and Manistee County has a significant amount of people out, Chandler. So maybe, just maybe, this cell is producing wind in parts of it, but not the entirety of it.
Sent a few more of those, Ryan, your way if you want to forward
Goodness
those.
gracious. Yep, I got it.
Those to DTX. Not active. I'm trying to figure out when it was. Probably around the 6:30 area or 6 p.m.
I am setting it in now.
If you could put the chat back live for me, Ryan, that would be appreciated.
Jacob with a super chat saying adding to the Get Ryan Morrissey fund. You guys are wild. Deanna here in chat, live report, golf ball hail in Ruth currently. Not surprised by that at all. There's Ruth. So likely golf ball size hail from a viewer here in chat. If you guys have any pictures or videos from the area, please feel free to send it in to us so we can confirm that and send it into NWS just for reference. But if you are downstream here in the Ruth area, White Rock as well, this is going to be heading your direction. They just expired the tornado warning, so we are now down to the severe warning in effect here. It's going to also expire in 3 minutes. And then all that's left will be likely a severe warning here. They're probably going to reissue it for a very small portion here for White Rock and Helena areas, just for reference here. But the severe warning, you see the yellow box in the screen, as well as the red box is going to pop off. So expect a new warning incoming here for portions of this storm as it moves closer to the lakeshore. Not quite there yet. And then after that is on to Lake Huron, the only storm back here that is actually producing some good winds here, at least enough to take down some power in Manistee, Benzie counties. Moving toward Grant Township, Carlin, Mayfield Township, Buckley, M37, and Mesick areas. Fun Time says, might as well continue the Ryan AC fund. You guys are absolutely wild. Also, only, I'm not going to say that username, but thank you, only, saying AC is life. Some of your guys' usernames are quite wild. I do admit some of us do get tripped up on them sometimes, but I caught that one. Forgot, but I think Joel let one slip on stream this year at one point from somebody's username that was just borderline rated R, PG-13.
Happens to
With the
all
picture.
of us.
It does. There's actually there's bloopers and stuff out from like news stations of them reading off viewer stuff. That's just there's a word for it. I can't think of the word though, but it's like purposely try to get them to slip up, and they fall for it.
You want those on the page, Ryan?
Well, which ones? The ones you sent? Yeah, you can put the middle one, the tape measure one.
Okay.
Looks like a super chat from Cindy saying, "Okay, I'll help the Ryan AC fund out too." Thank you, Cindy. The AC stopped already, and it dropped my my room by 3 degrees. So I'm from 81 down to 77.6. So 3-ish, 3.5 degrees. Jesse says emergency vehicles out all over the place around Minden. So probably because they're spotting, I'd have to imagine. We had an unconfirmed report of a touchdown come in earlier, but that was back further back to the west. Updated the warning, trimmed it back up here. Continues. For southeast Benzie and northwestern Wexford, southwestern Grand Traverse County until 8 p.m. They hid that on me. So this gust front is now over Carlin, Grant Township down to Mesick, heading toward Buckley, Mayfield Township, Grawn, Interlochen, Blair Township, Mayfield, Paradise Township, and Fife Lake areas. We'll see if they issue a downstream warning for Kalkaska and Lake counties. At the current time, nothing in effect. Currently, there is no warning for the cell that did have golf ball size hail moments ago reported from a viewer in Ruth. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't reissue a warning for this. But again, if you live from Ruth to the M25, the shoreline here, where these purple colors are, likely some large hail still falling there. And there's your hail tracker, and very, very much so over Ruth a few minutes ago. That was maxed out. This is heading toward Lake Huron. Should only be a problem for about 5 or 10 more minutes here in primarily Huron County. And then we'll be done for the storms in the Thumb region for the time being. Attention's going to shift up here for this cell that's warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds heading toward the Kalkaska region. It's currently over Grant Township and Buckley areas. Go check out that cell here. I wonder if they're not warning it because it's not really impressive, or what's going on with this. Okay, yeah, the core on this... Yeah, the core on this is actually coming down, so perhaps a good call not to warn this continually. Core is 16,000 feet. And for severe hail, we want to see it closer to 20,000 feet. So it's kind of there. It's borderline in nature, so it's not conclusive, I guess. Sparty with a super chat says, "Who lives without AC? Get yourself some cool air." I have AC. The problem is where the AC thermostat is. The thermostat is in a spot where it's cooler than the back part of the building. So it's very typical building style, I guess. And I don't know. I'm done. I'm done talking about this at this point. I'm cooled off now for now at least. So
Give it 10
no
minutes.
longer. Give it 10 minutes. Yep. Give it 10 minutes. Megan Tyson with a super chat says, AC shoot. Here's a donation for Joel and Ryan to dance. Joel will dance for you. I'm not dancing. Dee Dee says, electric bill fund with a super chat for $2. You guys are crazy. Chandler, look at you started.
I won't be happy until we have Ryan shivering on stream because he's so cold, because the AC works so good.
Wild.
Well, I'm curious as to what's going to happen with this northernmost storm. I mean, it's kind of in a world of its own, with them not choosing to re-warn the one to the southeast there in St. Lat County. This is our only warning in the state at this time.
Another super chat says, window unit fund. Oh, thank you, Only, for that. Oh, man.
I'm going to turn my AC on a little bit.
Also, thank you to you guys in the chat here and also sending us pictures. Detroit NWS already confirmed that golf ball size hail report out of the Ruth area, so thank you for that. Able to relay that in almost real time, so perfect use there for you guys in chat, reporting stuff back to us. Appreciate you guys. I believe what Chandler is alluding to is we're about to have, well, we'll see, but we may have no warnings here in a few more minutes with this cell. We'll have to see what happens with this cell moving into toward the Fife Lake and Kalkaskett region. But otherwise, there's not much else to talk about here, guys. The storm over that area in the thumb is now about to move on to Huron, and the hail core on that rotation is very weak in nature, so it is sub-severe at this time. In the meantime, full attention has shifted back further north and west here to that cell just south of Traverse City. Brian with a super chat says, hello from Madison Heights. Appreciate what you guys do. Appreciate you, Brian, for being a supporter here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Appreciate you as more than you know. More than you know. I am going to get off of our weather cameras here. I believe we may have one up ahead of this in Houghton Lake, but it's faced the wrong way, unfortunately. We do have, so surprisingly, guys, we don't have any cameras up this way, but tomorrow I believe we're going to have a Cadillac camera coming your way. If that's still the plan, I need to double check with that, but we may have WeatherCam 102 to announce at some point this upcoming week. It's coming in Cadillac, last I knew. So stand by for that, or stay tuned for that, should I say.
Isn't that WeatherCam 103, Ryan?
What?
So wouldn't that be WeatherCam 103? We just announced 102 the other day.
Maybe it is 103. Either way, that's a lot of cameras.
It is. Can you bring the chat live, please?
Kevin with a super chat says, I'll chip in for the chill bill. You guys are absolutely wild today.
I like that. The chill bill.
That's like the 10th super chat. Chandler, what did you start? This is going to be a new MSC lore on Discord, just so you know. It was the Ferris wheel last year. Now we're going to have to get like a Ryan AC emoji.
I'll get working on the merch.
No!
I'll get working on the chill bill, cool off Ryan merch.
Have a chat here from Megan asking, is that the announcement? No.
Yes.
Our announcement is much, much bigger than my AC bill. Surprisingly, it's larger than my AC bill. One warning in effect, guys, just tuning in here. It's going to be between Cadillac and Traverse City. It's going to be for this Mayfield Township area, M37, US 31 corridor from Buckley down to Mesick. 60-mile-per-hour winds is your main hazard there. Of the reports off this storm have been sub-severe 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts, and that has been the only reports I've gotten from this area. But there are power outages coming in from this area as well, so there is some stronger winds for sure happening. I just don't know if they're severe or not. So we'll see what NWS Gaylord here does in 22 more minutes. They may expire it early, they may cancel it, they may extend it. I do not know just yet. But in the meantime, if they do extend it, it'd be for the Fife Lake up toward Kalkaska regions. Yoder the Yeti with a super chat says, for the chill bill from the deer in Lapeer. Oh, good Lord. I'm about to just hop off here and let Chandler finish this out. You guys are crazy.
I don't have a hat nearby, but this is my digital tip of the cap to that super chat. Digital tip of the cap.
About to go out and enjoy the 85-degree day here.
He won't be out long, and then he won't be able to cool off when he comes inside because why? It's AC, it's not good enough.
You're mean.
Tune into the page tomorrow. I'll have the merch ready. I will.
Yeah, don't test Chandler on the merch. He'll have stuff ready. Just please don't test him.
I'm texting Ashley right now.
Well, I do have some bad news and good news at the same time. The deer camera in Lapeer is currently offline. I was taking a peek across the state with our weather cameras here to see if I have any good views. A lot of blue sky out there, but no sunset yet. It's still a little bit early for that. No storm clouds. It's just pure Michigan at this point. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off screen. Fun times again. In with a super chat said Ryan's got to chill and grill one of these days. Loving the stream right now. Hashtag we want chill bill merch. Well, thank you all for your super chats. I can pay my AC bill now for next month, so appreciate all you guys for that. Probably could with all you guys have sent.
Mock-ups are in the works.
No goodness. In about 5 days, you're going to see me with a daily video with a t-shirt on that says Chill Bill. Or something along those lines. Piper in chat says, have tree branches coming down in Manton. Let's find Manton. I assume you're somewhere in this mess of rain. Although I do not see Manton on here. I see Mesick, Sherman, Glengarry, Buckley, Wexford Corner, Mayfield, Hannah, Hilltop, Blair, Grawn. Where is Manton at? I feel like it's not even close to this. Hey Siri. So it's just north of Cadillac. Okay, so you're on the leading edge then. Okay, makes sense now. I'm just dumb. I knew it was up there somewhere. We have more super chats coming in. Thank you, Sev, for the super chat. Says, gotta keep Ryan comfy. $2 for the chill bill. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Lowell, for the super chat, asking, how is Flint looking again? So Flint right now is all clear. You should be all clear for the night. I don't anticipate more storms firing up tonight, but pay attention for tomorrow and Tuesday. More severe risks do present themselves. But for now in Flint, you should be all clear. the warning on my radar, there it goes, updated. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. Continues, expires in 17 minutes. They continue down, so they're not going to expire that early. Across southern lower Michigan, everybody's clear for the night, I would have to imagine. I don't anticipate anything happening further south. Again, if you live in the UP tonight, western central UP, from Ontonagon to Marquette to Iron River and Iron Mountain, you guys have a risk tonight for large hail and gusty winds. Otherwise, the severe threat is centered with this cell. Right now, once this is done, Chandler, we may be able to hop off of here.
Yeah, we'll still have to hang out in the background and monitor it, but we might be able to.
In the meantime, we're going to do something here real quick. We're going to run through our sponsors while we have a minute. But before we do that, I do want to shout out in chat. If you guys live in this area, let us know what you're seeing. I have yet to hear much of any reports out of this area. Everything we've seen so far has been sub-severe. All the wind gusts have been 40 to 45 miles per hour, so we're not seeing too much of anything confirmation-wise of severe occurring. But if you guys live in this warning polygon or close to the storm, let us know what you see, if anything. Michelle with Super Chat says, make a few paper fans. Ryan. For those who don't know, I showed this off in the stream earlier, but I do have battery-powered, 2 of them actually, battery-powered handheld fans. And they've been going. You are not going to catch you with the tank top on here. Megan says winds are picking up.
Other super chat I thought up there, Ryan, that you scrolled by, but I could be wrong. Nope. Okay, I was wrong.
Not the first time. Heavy lightning pretty much non-stop. Thank you for that. Kelly with a super chat says, my brain instantly thought Ryan attacking his AC Kill Bill style for the Chandler Bill merge, or the Chill Bill merge. Okay, goodness gracious. We are going to cycle through our sponsors here in a few minutes. I'm going to wait on this. I'm going to see if they issue another downstream warning on this, just because it's moving out of the warning polygon. So they may reissue this. I don't want it to happen in the middle of our sponsor roll. So we'll hold off on that for a second.
I feel like it'll probably be SWS, but I could be wrong.
Let me check behind the scenes here. I doubt we'll have information, but I want to check it. Yeah, no information on this. Report that the wind was not significant with this storm. That's the last report I have.
I don't have anything in Messenger that makes me think it is major.
Okay. I'll wait probably 2-3 more minutes or so, and then we'll roll through our sponsor ads here. Unless a warning comes in, we'll focus on that. But in the meantime, I think this is sub-severe in nature. So we do have a super chat from Megan saying, tank tops, Chandler. I believe we have tank tops available now, don't we?
Yeah, when all the alerts are done and we read through our partners and sponsors, we can show them off if you want.
We can. Let's go ahead and shout out our sponsors for the time being. If there's a warning that doesn't get issued, we'll divert back to the warning. But in the meantime, let's shout out our trusted partners. We have sponsors and partners who have partnered with us, who provide services to the state of Michigan, from restoration to tree services, roofing, construction, and a lot of other needs across Michigan. We have a partner for you, starting with A-Class Construction Restoration out of Mason County and surrounding areas. American Arbor. What? say something? Okay. American Arbor, based out of Southwest Michigan, for any tree service needs in the Southwest Michigan area. Apex Restoration out of Grand Blanc for any restoration needs there in the Southeast Michigan area. Battle Creek IT for any IT needs in the Battle Creek region and surrounding regions. Crystal Flash Propane for the entire state of Michigan if you have propane needs. Inc. Media for digital marketing and website design. Feel free to contact Inc. Cass Roofing and Siding out of Potterville, Michigan, which is near Lansing, for any roofing and siding needs. Kuiper Tree Care in West Michigan for any tree care needs on the west part of the state. And on the east part of the state, we have McKay Tree Specialist in Southeast Michigan, to be exact. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based out of the Thumb region, Sanilac and St. Clair counties, to be exact. On Top Roofing out of Livingston County and surrounding areas. Rainbow Restoration, Kent County and surrounding areas. The RMHC House of Detroit. Feel free to donate by calling the number on your screen there. ServPro for any fire, mold, or water damage restoration needs or cleanup. Feel free to contact ServPro across the state of Michigan. StormGuard Metro Detroit North for any roofing or construction needs, exterior home needs as well. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors out of West Michigan. Top Notch Tree Care, Jackson to Lansing corridor. Victor's Home Solution out of the Tri-Cities Mount Pleasant region. And lastly, our newest sponsor, Carlton Equipment Company, for any Bobcat equipment, sales, parts, service, etc. Feel free to contact Carlton Equipment. Thank you to all the sponsors who help support operations here at MSC. We are appreciated, and they help keep operations rolling. And they're here for you guys in the event you happen to need their services at any point. Well, the gust front Chandler has now moved out of the warning, and they have not warned or statemented the downstream areas. That is good news.
Well, what do you think? Give it another 10 minutes and
Yep.
take it from there?
The policy here, if there is a warning in effect, we cannot go off air. So as long as that warning is still up there, we cannot hop off on air. And that does expire at 8 p.m. So there is that. Chandler, if we hop off at 8 p.m., do you want to announce that announcement?
Maybe at 9 p.m., just to be safe?
If you want. I still think now is a better time than ever. Well, not now, but tonight.
I mean, it's not like anybody can do anything about the announcement, whether it's tonight or a different day. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but there's a tension tonight. You know what I mean? We'll talk about it behind the scenes. Also have to keep a close eye on the cells coming back towards shore here offshore of Beulah. We'll watch those for the Benzie County region again. Okay, so update from NWS Gaylord. They say that velocity does suggest wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, but it is having to punch through a capping inversion and only get worse from here on out. So it sounds like they are not going to rewarn this, and they are saying that this storm downstream will likely continue to weaken or become more elevated as it moves that direction. So likely not going to see a downstream warning, perhaps a statement over a warning, but we'll see what they do with it. But right now it appears that they're going to let this warning expire at the top of the hour, and as it does so, we will likely end our coverage here at Michigan Storm Chasers as well. Been live over 3.5 hours here this afternoon and evening, and we should be wrapping up here shortly. Now, in the meantime, if you live up in the western UP, there is a risk tonight after midnight for some larger hail and damaging winds. So keep that in mind if you live up in the UP, the western and central portions of it to be exact. Otherwise, much of the lower peninsula will likely be a little bit on the quieter side tonight. In fact, the warnings just got canceled, Chandler, so we can hop off at any time we want to.
Interesting.
All the other storms out here across northern lower Michigan are elevated. They do have some lightning with some of these guys, but overall risk for anything severe is now very low until we get to the overnight hours up in the UP. All storms have cleared the severe criteria, and everything at this point appears to be below severe criteria. We're going to watch this cell coming off onto the Beulah area. But in the meantime, probably like 20 minutes before that happens, so we can hop off of here, Chandler, and take a quick breather. In the event that does go warned for the Beulah area, we'll be back on here live covering it. But in the meantime, I think we're good to hop out and take at very least a 20, perhaps a half-hour break here. Perhaps more. Hopefully more. In the meantime, though, any last words, Chandler?
I don't think so, but Ryan Chill Bill merch will be out probably within the next 24 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess look on the page for my worst, I'm not going to say my worst nightmare, but you guys can do what you want with that information. I'll just be here suffering. So, in the meantime, you guys have a great night. We're going to roll the outro now. And again, if anything does become warned again this evening or overnight, be back on here live covering. You guys know the drill by now. So, enjoy your night. Stay safe. All warnings are now cleared. The severe warning was just canceled. And in the meantime, we are going to hop out of here. I'll see you guys later on tonight if needed. Enjoy your evening. Stay safe.